Make sure I have everything pulled up here.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm talking about you, Gabe.
Oh, shit.
About you, man. And we are explicit, so if you slip,
yeah, okay. You want to throw some F-bombs, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah, or whatever, you know. You be you.
Fuck.
Exactly. Right. You know?
Yeah. That's exactly what a Senate Nomad said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if you're like, you know, the one thing I think lore needs is more profanities. There you go. Feel free to add it. That'll make people tune in and go like, oh my God, I need to read lore.
Yeah.
The first 50 or so episodes of my podcast, I was bleeping out curse words and stuff because for the most part we were keeping it family friendly because we didn't really know what our audience would be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Orchid joined and it was like a quarter of the episode is going to be bleeps. Let's just turn it explicit.
Yeah.
It's like me with Hazel. I can't control the monster, so I just let it roll. Yep.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. He lets him fly. I'm good with it.
It all depends, though. It all depends.
It does. There's a time when you have to use the F-bomb. It's required.
So. Exactly.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 87 of Guardian Downcast. We're a couple dads that talk about all things in the Destiny universe, and we interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. We're the show that wants more Destiny lore in our lives. Know what I'm saying? I'm your host, The Gator, and my co-host, Hazel, is here as well. Hey, man, how's your week been?
It's been okay, I think. I have no idea how my week has been. I don't know which way is up right now. So, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm a banker. So, everybody and their mom has been calling about their stimulus. Hey, did I get it? Where is it? Why do you suck so bad at your life? And give me my money. And it's just, hey, don't blame me, blame the IRS. There you go. So, besides that, my wife slipped up tonight. It was glorious. My daughter caught her on it. And my wife is like, hey, look at this picture. And it was a dog. And my wife didn't really look at the picture too much. But come to find out, my daughter knows enough to read at 5 years old, unfortunately, and goes, hey, it looks like you can buy that dog. And then she started going in on it, going like, hey, let's get a dog. Let's get a dog. Let's get a dog. So we don't know how that's going to go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Yeah, shit.
You already have a dog. What's better than a dog, though? Another
2
dog.
dogs.
Exactly. Believe me.
So, yeah, it's awesome. How about you, man?
My 2 dogs are doing fine. No,
I've been better than 2.
Yeah, no. I've had 3. No, never again. No, it's been a good week. Been real busy at work, man. I'm sorry for all of you who in the Discord haven't seen me a lot. I've been poking in as much as I can, but it's been a busy week for me, man. It's been it reached 90 degrees this week. It's just crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been windy, 88 degrees today. Just, I got to do the weather report every week. Anyway, it's been a good week. Just getting busy, cranking it up, and I'm just looking forward to Destiny, man. Looking forward to what's coming up. So, speaking of which, this week we have a very special guest in store. We've been following this fellow Destiny community for some time now, and I kind of feel like we already know them to a degree. He's one of the co-hosts of the Guardians of Lore podcast and one of the community leaders of the Lore Hub, the best hub on the net. No, just kidding, Kingsley Desenson. Just kidding. It's our new friend, Ellimist. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing really good, actually.
Very good. We're looking forward to hearing more about you, man. So that being said, just an overview of this week's show. First, we are going to hear Ellimist's story. How do you say that? Ellimist's? Man, that's really tough. We're going to hear his story and how he got into gaming and lore, and also talk with him about his lore podcast and community. Next, we're going to test his Twitch reflexes in our new and further improved Fast Fire segment we call the Speed Run. Hazel's going to go over the TWAB for the 6th week of Season of the Chosen. We might have a little surprise lore segment somewhere in there as well, and then we'll answer community questions, and finally, we'll add 2 songs each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and iTunes. Hey guys, I'm excited to get this done. Let's do it. Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. You can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast.
Or, you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our weekly guests want to share with you.
Or Hazel, just visit our website at GuardianDowncast.com for all the contact information and where else you want to find us. And you can also play any past episodes you like in any order you like, right from your browser.
Don't you or me, man. Anyway, so hey, Guardians, check us out, and later, Guardians.
Toddles.
Hey, that's my line, man.
Well, hey, Ellimist. Where are you from, man?
Originally, California.
Okay.
Currently, I'm in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Just a little further away.
Just a little bit.
You married? Have family?
No. I'm single.
Okay.
Although I have a dad bod and dad jokes.
You're gonna fit right in here, man. Don't worry. What do you?
I do have siblings, though.
Okay. What do you have? Brothers and sisters, or both, or either?
A brother and a sister. They're twins.
Okay. Really?
Wow.
Paternal or maternal?
Yeah.
Or identical?
Yes, is the answer to that question.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm loopy as hell tonight. I don't know.
Well, my sister has some of the biggest balls I've seen on
There's the jokes. Well, I'm curious. What do you do for a living, sir?
I do cybersecurity.
Wow.
So I run vulnerability scanners and do incident response, that kind of stuff.
We have a lot of friends who do that. That seems to be a hot industry, man. Well, Hazel, you got a question for him?
Yeah, I do. So, transitioning from that, what was your earliest moment in gaming, sir, that you remember?
I remember sitting on my bedroom floor with my mother playing Super Mario Brothers on the NES.
Nice.
Is your mom still game? She still game a little bit on the side, or?
No.
Okay.
No.
Reason I asked is my mom and dad never gamed. They were never into that stuff. I'm always jealous of people whose dads and moms are gamers, so that's why I always ask.
Yeah. Nice, man. That's awesome. Did you guys ever beat Mario?
I think I got really close once. And then my grandma yelled, "Hey, it's dinner time."
Yeah, there were no save points then, were there?
No, there weren't.
That's right. I forgot about that.
You can hear the pain in his voice.
Uh-huh.
No, there weren't.
The pain was real.
Oh my God, that's right. There were no save points. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife, she told me, it was like early on when we were dating, and she's like, I beat Mario 1, 2, and 3. And I'm like, what? I was like, First of all, I know you're lying because nobody ever beat Mario 2. And then I was like, secondly, I was like, I never beat Mario 1. And then, what was it? The Wii came out, and she ended up getting like that Mario game just so she could, like Mario 1, just so she could beat it. And I still had never beaten it at the time. So I dedicated like a month of my life to playing that game and beating it.
Now,
Awesome.
I'm curious, on the Switch now, can you save progress on Mario, or is it just the same old, same old?
It's the same old thing.
Really?
Yeah. Why would they change that, man?
Come on, Nintendo. People have lives. Come on.
Although, like, you can just leave the Switch plugged in and just put it in sleep mode.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're an adult now.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true.
you know.
I haven't used my Switch much. I bought it for my wife for Christmas, and we've used it exactly one time. So, and that was to download games that we haven't played yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on my Switch, I think, just as much as my daughter, because I'm playing Animal Crossing, trying to get her advanced and stuff like that. And then playing Let's Go Eevee, Mario Kart, Hades, all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's a good point. Ellimist, I'm curious, do you play other games other than Destiny?
I do. I was about to say, like, Pokemon is a huge thing for me. Animal Crossing.
Nice.
I just picked up Minecraft, and a lot of that is because of a friend from work. He's using it therapeutically, and we're just using it to actually, like, hang out.
Very cool.
And then I've been playing Bravely Default 2.
Oh, how is that?
I enjoy it, but I was a fan of the series beforehand. So,
okay. Yeah, I've never
biased there.
Yeah, I've never played any of them, so I saw it advertised on the Switch, and I was just like this is curious. I'm like, what kind of game is it by chance?
It's a JRPG.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy III, I want to say.
We lost Yater when we said this.
Yeah, I just play Destiny. Sorry, I'm just old and set in my ways. Now Battlefield is coming out later this year. I might be playing that too, but that's about it. Yeah.
Might is the key word there.
No, if it's a shooter and a first-person shooter, I'm in for the most part.
Now, hey, like I put more hours into Destiny than most other games. So
yeah, I hear you, man.
It's awesome.
We're all in the same kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how did you find Destiny? How did you originally find? I'm assuming you played Destiny 1.
Yes. I started in vanilla, D1, and I found it because I was on an internship in DC, and one of the other interns was talking about this new Bungie game that was coming out. And I heard him talk about it for like weeks on end. So I was like, all right. Once I got back home, it was right around the time of release. So I just went and picked up a copy.
You didn't see the live action trailer or anything like that?
No.
Really?
Wow.
Not until afterward, at least.
Right.
I was like, wow. I was like, I just can't imagine. That's pretty cool, though. What kept you around?
In D1, it was just the fact of being able to do something and that power fantasy, you know?
Yeah.
Life can keep kicking you while you're down, but the power fantasy helps you escape that.
Mm-hmm.
And since D2 has come out, I have actually found a clan, and that's what's kept me around for D2.
Nice.
The community, yeah, it's really strong. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, playing Crucible by yourself versus playing Crucible with 4 or 5 of your buds, totally different.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So, are you more PvE or PvP?
I am more PvE.
Oh, okay. All right. And go ahead.
I do jump into PvP every now and then, but I kind of dread it whenever I do. And I am super toxic in Gambit.
Wow, we need to play a game with you and Gator together. It would be the most positive game.
You know ever. What? We should probably talk about Gambit tonight. Wink, wink, wink. Hint, hint.
Oh, man.
Oh, well,
good Lord. Do you have any? Is there a favorite memory that you have from Destiny 1 or 2?
Favorite memory from...
We know there's a lot of them, but is there one that stands out in your mind?
Day 1 raiding for Deepstone Crypt.
Really?
Like, the actual Day 1 raid-a-thon that we did was... well, like, I was streaming it for 23 hours, and so we had to have been in the raid for 22 of it. The moment that I'm specifically thinking of, like, we were stuck at Atrax, like a lot of other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally beat Atrax, and we got to the jumping puzzle, and Deepstone Lullaby plays, and it was just... It was the right music for how we felt, and like all of us were in tears.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, it was one of the first it was actually one of the first raids I did day 1, because face it, most of the raids like Last Wish and all the World's First, they weren't real friendly to normal players. The fact that the light level requirement was a lot lower in Deepstone Crypt made it more accessible to people on day 1. And I agree, man. Even though we didn't get it done on first day, it was a lot of fun just working it out, trying to figure things out, and seeing it with new eyes and not watching a video first. It was refreshing, I have to admit. Yeah.
Like, that is the most fun you will ever have in a raid. Is just jumping in, not knowing what to do, and figuring it out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like a kid, like at Christmas. Your eyes are open with wonderment, It's like,
you just don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. The first one I did, day 1, was Wrath of the Machine, and we made it to the Death Zamboni, and it was we were just unprepared. It was just crazy. So yeah, that's as far as we made it. We were just like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
All I can remember in that Death Zamboni is this thing ever going to stop? I mean, my God, if we look at the bridge, we're still having to run and run and run and run. Is this thing ever going to stop? How the hell do we stop this thing? And man, that's a great raid. Wrath was such a great raid.
It was good. I won't say great.
It's definitely up there for me.
It's one of my most memorable of Destiny 1. And that's going up against Vault.
Yeah.
But well, what's your favorite activity right now in Season of the Chosen? What are you playing?
I really enjoy Nightfalls.
Okay.
Like, I just got Conqueror a couple days ago.
Wow.
Damn.
Nice, dude.
It was the second time I've gotten Conqueror, so like I already had a good portion of the triumphs already done.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to run in with a fire team and do the 4 different
Wait a minute.
elements.
You got Gilded Conqueror?
No.
Oh, okay.
The actual gilding is what used to be Conqueror.
No way. Oh, no. See, Gilded...
You have to run every single Nightfall as a Grandmaster.
Yeah.
For that season.
Oh, my God. Well, okay. Have you run this week's? The first one?
I did to get Conqueror, but I didn't to actually finish off the gilding portion of it.
Okay. What do you think? I haven't run it yet. What do you think about the first week?
It depends on the actual team
loadout. Of course, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because like my team was set up so that we had a Phoenix Well and we had an Ursa Sentinel.
Okay.
Nice.
So we just kept swapping supers, and we each had our super no matter what.
Right.
And that was all good for the first 3 runs because we were able to piece it together. Mm-hmm. But then that 4th run where everybody needed either stasis or arc we had a hell of a time.
So yeah, I've never attempted one. I've always been too intimidated by them with all the damn modifiers. Holy crap! The high level nightfalls are already bad enough, and then these master ones are just.
Yeah, when you have to scroll down through all the debuffs.
Exactly. They're like, what else are they taking from me? Oh, great. Yeah. My favorite thing I like to use. I can't use it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then they have a modifier that is called Grandmaster, which is like 10 other modifiers.
What? Come on, Bungie. Come on.
Takes your radar away.
Oh, man.
Joining disabled. You have revive tokens. Like,
there's a timer.
Full
too, right?
gamut.
Yeah,
oh
no, it's not timed.
Thank God. Thank God. I hate timers.
So it is timed to the point of like where you stop earning points and where you start losing points.
Right.
But if you're doing a Grandmaster, you're not doing it for points. You are going for a completion.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I watched Fallout do it, and I was cracking up because do you know what he did in that first big room where like you have the thing that you have to like kind of like
the laser room?
Yeah, with the lasers. Yeah. Do you know what he did?
No, what?
He sat back in just like D1, sat in the back by the truck, by the train,
the ditch,
and he sat back there and just started like pegging away with him, I Frostbolt, and I think GSX Clyde, and that's what they did. The D1 strat, and then in the boss room, do you know what they did?
Mm-mm.
The D1 strat again. They got in that little ass room.
Really? Watch the stairwell.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, it's D1 all over again.
That's pretty much what we did. We didn't do the train strat. We were up behind the thing where the ghost is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a cargo container that's like blocking the majority of the fire coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
So all three of us just camped up there.
Okay.
And like we were pushing each other unintentionally and everything, but we're sitting there with a sniper, a bow, and whatever else, and just taking care of things from a distance.
Well, first impressions, easier than you thought or harder than you thought?
Easier than I thought.
Okay, that's what everybody keeps saying. Okay.
Damn.
All right. Maybe it's just
familiar. A lot of it for me was learning where the champions were, how many champions.
Yeah.
Because the last time this strike was around, I specifically was underleveled, so I couldn't even attempt a master.
Okay.
So I couldn't figure out where everything spawned, what all, champion wise there was, and so the first one or two runs was me figuring things out.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Yeah,
wow.
I might actually try this. I don't normally like this kind of stuff, but if I get two other guys that want to do it, I might jump in and do it. I might try it before it goes away this week. And the contest mode, is it on all week or just that day one?
Oh, no. That's actually built into Grandmasters.
Oh, wonderful. Add something else.
You will always be 25 power under the Grandmaster.
Forever?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's why it's called a Grandmaster, man. Even I knew that.
All right, fine. Jeez. Maybe not.
That's funny. Just sack up and do it. Hey, we have a lot of new blood in the clan, so
Yeah, that's true.
You could I'm sure somebody could carry you through it. So moving on here. All right. So, Mr. Ellimist. Well, real quick, yeah. I want to clear something up here. So, are you Titan main, Hunter main, or Warlock main?
I like to punch.
I like this guy.
Yeah, says the Hunter main.
I'm the Hunter main this season.
It's the ice show.
It's the ice show. Yeah, that's Gator's patented line because he loves stasis.
I do love stasis.
I do. I'm the poster child for it. Whenever I can use it, I'm using it.
Yeah.
Well. So nice. I appreciate another Titan main.
Oh,
So-
jeez.
All right, sir. So, you do a little podcast. That's fantastic for anybody listening out there. How did the Guardians of Lore get started?
It started out as a clan podcast. Hyven and myself wanted to do some kind of lore discussion, but we didn't know what format. So we posed it to the clan. They were like, hey, do a podcast. And it was actually Orchid who said, do a podcast. Everybody else agreed. So we just started it. We were in Mixer chat at the time because that's what freaking Xbox recorded in.
That's right.
And we were just talking. That's why like the first 5 or 6 episodes, it says TSA lore chat. Because at the time, the clan was the Strangers' Allies. So TSA.
I thought it was actually like TSA, like at airports and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
That used to be a joke.
Did you call you guys?
Yeah.
You guys were the bomb? No, just kidding.
Oh.
It was more like, it's not gay if it's TSA.
No.
Oh.
Well, I was going to ask you how you found your co-host, but I guess that's how you found them, as they were already part of the clan, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
And we all just stayed friends after people left the clan, and then we just kept doing the podcast.
Yeah, I was looking at your Instagram. A lot of you guys have met in real life. It's pretty
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some great pics. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. So one of my favorite things about what you and Orchid do as of late is basically like you'll read or she'll read the lore post, and then you both will dissect it. And it's funny because there's like one piece of lore that you read, and you both have competing views, basically, or sometimes, about what's going on in it. And that's just like so novel to me. And I'm just like, this is fantastic. Do you guys plan that, or is it just something that just happens?
It's just something that happens. Like I do up the show notes so that it's, one person, and we alternate readers. That way one person doesn't get dry mouth from talking too much or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But all our show notes is the intro stuff, which is like, talking about the TWAB and that kind of stuff, the outro stuff, and then the major meat of it is the actual entries that we read. And after each entry, we just talk about what we took away from it. So all of that is unscripted.
Wow.
It's good entertainment. I love discussion podcasts. Everything just seems to flow really well.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you're doing, man, it works because it's very entertaining to listen to.
It really is.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Well, how do you like podcasting? What are the highs and lows of podcasting? And that's a loaded. I know it's a loaded question, but
I love it. I love the planning that goes behind it. I love just getting into a chat and talking for a couple hours.
Yeah.
The only low point for me personally is the editing.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Yeah. I assume you're the editor in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 2-hour episode ends up taking you 3 hours to do.
Yeah, I know this. Because it's a work. You think of it. It's a work of art. You're molding the clay, right? You're having those transitions perfectly line up, and I don't know. It's when it's done, you're like chef's kiss. It's good to go. I don't know. That's the way I feel anyway. I'm like, okay, it's released. Release downs. Anyway.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm glad you do the editing, Gator, because for me, I'm always going to go like, it's never finished.
Yeah.
Never done.
And I could just see Addie running up to you, Daddy, let's go do this. Okay. See, it works out with Hazel and I, Ellimist, because he's a young dad. He's still got little young ones running around, and young one, sorry. One, sorry. And
Tempt Fate Gator, thanks a lot, man.
Shit. Sorry about that. And my kids are in college, and out of the house. So I have a nice quiet house, so it's perfect for editing because I can just put my earbuds in and close my office door. And I have my own business, so I work out of a home office, so it's nice. Everything's self-contained, and yeah, and you just start getting into it. The hardest part for me, I don't know if this is true for you, is getting started.
Yeah.
Saying, okay, let's dive in,
It's that want to start. That motivation to start.
Yeah. And once you get in, it's you get rolling. It's like, okay, we got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just that initial kick in the ass that's just
Yeah, I know, I hear you.
That's fun.
Sorry, I threw that question in, Hazel, because I knew that he did the editing, and that was just a podcaster question there, but I was just curious how you felt about it. So,
yeah, no, I get it. So what was the Orchid is Right party? No, I'm just kidding. I think that got
Oh, God.
No, just kidding. No, to me, I mean, Orchid was hilarious. I'm the last episode I listened to was 104, where you were going over the captain's log. And the number one, and I was just cracking up at, sunsetting of Luke Smith and everything else. So yeah, it was just, I had a good time listening to that. Thank you guys. So aside from that, so how would you describe the Dredgens of Lore clan and your mission statement?
We're just a bunch of people who enjoy Destiny and other games whenever Destiny is in a low point. We're all about equality. Treat people the way you want to be treated. We joke a lot. We have some arguments because, it's 80 people. But for the most part, we're a chill group. And it's just, we all have a passion for the game.
Nice.
well, I know coming to recent events here, I know this just happened fairly recently. It's been a few months now, but Focus Fire Chat, which we had Blue Crew 86 and Green Eyed Music Lover on our show in the past, and we talked lore and answered lore questions. The gang at Focus Fire Chat and you guys at Guardians of Lore, you guys combined your Discord into the Lore Hub Discord. What started that? I mean, did you guys just get to talking? And I'll let you take off with it. Well, how'd that begin? Or how did that get decided to get done?
So we got to talking. Orchid was being brought on to Focus Fire as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And she noticed that I don't even know if it was her or Green had noticed that the majority of the people that were in the Focus Fire Discord were also in the Guardians of Lore Discord.
Right.
So they got to talking behind the scenes, and they were like, hey, why don't we just merge the two Discords?
It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it was just simple of I don't know what to say there, because it was just it made sense to do it.
Well, everyone in those Discords are like-minded. They all are about the lore and all about stories of Destiny, and you guys get into other things, other lore too, besides Destiny, correct? Or is it just Destiny?
Guardians of Lore specifically only does Destiny,
right?
Currently, but we do talk about other games.
That's right.
In the Lore Hub.
I remember Blue telling me that now. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Okay.
Well, on their website that they do, they have other lore for other games.
That's what I'm thinking is their website. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lore network.
Gotcha.
Yep.
How do you another podcast question? Sorry, Hazel. How do you see the future of podcasting, man? Do you think this is just a fad, something that's going to go away in 10 years, or do you think this is going to be a powerhouse of a media channel out there, another leg of the media? What do you think, man?
I think it's going to be another leg of media until something comes along to replace it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've had radio talk shows, and how many people listen to the radio now?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see technology moving in such a way that there will be something to replace it, but people are going to be able to transition into that, whatever that is.
So it'll be a more natural transition probably with the times, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably like ebbs and flows, I would imagine, because if you think about it, like there was like the old school radio like shows that they'd be on. You're like, yeah, now what's going on over here?
Yeah. And that's kind of way our show is. It's kind of a throwback to the radio shows, we take breaks and go to different segments and stuff. And, I don't hear a lot of podcasts doing that anymore. A lot of podcasts just keep rolling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, sir, another question for you here. Here we are. Okay. This is my favorite thing. This is my favorite question. Whenever we have somebody who does lore, it's like, for me, I'm like a blind man. Like when it comes to lore, I don't know what's good lore, what's bad lore, how to even read lore, because to me, I need a starting point and an ending point. And for me, lore is just all over the place, because in D1, you'd get a random card. Like, what the fuck is this? So you read it, and then you're just like, okay, I have no basis to connect this to. And then you get another lore card, and it has nothing to do with that other previous lore card, and that kind of thing. So what was it about lore that piqued your interest originally?
It was actually a podcast called Ghost Stories.
Oh.
I remember that podcast. Yeah.
I had listened to one of their episodes about it was like lost lore pretty much. Like they pulled together actual stories based off of just blue armor. Just the flavor text off of those.
Really? Huh.
And that got me intrigued, and I was like, all right, what more is there? I found Focus Fire, and I listened to their Books of Sorrow episodes, and then I actually dove into the Books of Sorrow myself, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? This reads like a weird culty Bible.
It does, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
And from there, it progressed.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Is there any lore that stands out to you? Like this is like your favoriteest thing ever, right here?
We'll keep it to Destiny lore. Yeah.
For me, personally, it's flavor text on two different items. There is the comedian, which the flavor text is
Hazel's looking it up. Hazel's looking it up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's the flavor text?
That is the flavor text.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Oh,
and then the other one, because I am a romantic at heart. The other one is Annual Skate.
the hand cannon.
It's a Suros hand cannon from D2.
Yeah.
I'm actually pulling it up now.
No, I got to look it up now too. You got my interest piqued here. The annual skate.
So, The actual flavor text says, when the lake used to freeze, people would dance on the ice wearing boots with tiny swords and fall in love. It's just... I'm a romantic at heart, so reading that, it pulled at me.
Huh. That's really cool.
And that also proves that ice skating is no longer a thing.
Oh shit, you're right. Well, it says when the lake used to freeze. So it might still be something somewhere else, maybe. On Europa. I'm just kidding. Colonization. Huh. Wow.
Well, I've got one here, Hazel. Speaking of, yourself, Blue, Green, and Orchid, you guys are running the new lore community over there at the Lore Hub. What are the highs and lows of running a lore community? Are there things that come up that you just rather not have to deal with, or is it pretty smooth sailing?
For the most part, it's been smooth.
Okay.
I'm enjoying seeing the actual discussions that are happening. I might not join in because I'm working a full-time job from home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I watch the discussions happen. And sometimes, because the community has gotten so large, some things come up and you got to deal with it real quick. That's the only low point that I see.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody finds a meme funny and they post it and you're like, that doesn't fly.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough balancing that. A lot of it's a judgment call, it seems, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And,
It is.
And then you're kind of seeing how the community looks at it, and then like, okay, yeah, we'll have to take that back out.
Yeah. I always go with if you think that if you have to question it in any way, shape, or form, take it down.
Right.
That's just my
Absolutely.
thing. It's like, well, it's okay, but it's like, all right, let's just take that down. So
Absolutely.
nice.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say like shit goes all crazy whenever somebody mentions Toland as a good guy. But
Green did say Toland was an asshole, so that was the title of her episode.
Yeah.
Well, he is an ass, but I mean, he makes decent points.
She does not like Toland.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm. So, all right. So, what do you think, Gator? Go ahead and move to our finishing questions here.
Yeah, let's do our signature ones. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. These are my favorite ones.
Yeah.
So, do you have any hobbies besides video games?
I don't understand the question.
See? I'm not the only one.
I read I read comics a lot. I'm a Marvel fanboy.
Anything good out right now that you recommend?
Actually, I've been diving into Boom Studios' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
So have I.
Oh my god. It is so good.
It's surprisingly it's amazing how they take it from the shitty show that I had when I was growing up to where it is there.
Right. Like, these are actual teens with actual attitude.
What are you guys talking about?
It's not Destiny, Gator. We'll bring you back in when we're done talking. Let the adults.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our banter back and forth. Don't mind us.
This is the usual for us, Ellimist. This is the usual. All right.
Awesome.
I got it. I can't wait to hear the answer on this because I kind of did a little research on this.
I think I know.
Okay, I'm gonna ask it. Here we go. Ellimist, dude.
Yes.
What's up with the gamer tag?
So, as a kid, I read the Animorphs books.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
And the Ellimist is the good god in there, and I enjoyed seeing that character so much that I took it up as an actual like nickname. My family even called me it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And when I made the jump from like playing on Game Boy and N64 to actually like playing online, I was also taking a ethical hacking class. So the professor, and I love the guy. He is still one of the best guys I know. The professor had an assignment of figure out your hacker name. So I just kind of took the nickname and translated it into a hacker name, which then became the gamer tag, and which then became the online persona.
Nice.
It's got to be one of my favorite gamer tags. I love that name. And the fact that it has lore behind it, I love it. I mean, it kind of does. I was deep diving on this. I Googled Ellimist. I said, I got to know what this means. Because I didn't read those novels, obviously. But yeah, I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole on that stuff. I mean, it gets pretty deep. So I was like, okay, I'll ask him. I'm not going to get him any further. That's awesome, man. I love that gamer tag. And on Twitter, you're I am Ellimist. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the actual like
hacker name?
Xbox gamer tag.
Okay.
Without the underscores, because Twitter doesn't like spaces.
Right.
We found that out. Yeah. Yeah, we did. _D is my favorite part.
Yeah.
All right. So, here's another question for you. Do you have a motto or mantra that you like, or a couple of them?
Ooh. Pretty much just try and find something to laugh about. Because if you're not laughing, you're crying.
It's a good way to see things. I like that.
I like it.
Yeah. We're just talking about that tonight with my family chat circle. My sister put up an article she found about plastics, how they're all killing us and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I got enough to worry about. I'd rather look at the positive things in life. I've got too much to worry about as it is. I don't need to go down this rabbit hole. I just really don't. And, live your life. That's, yeah. Okay. Well, I will take us out with my favorite question of the interview. Ellimist, what is one thing about you that maybe nobody knows?
I'm going to back that up and say very few people know this about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suffer from depression.
Okay.
I've battled it for a decade and a half now. And that's because there was a string of deaths in my family, and it forced living situations to change. And I was not the happy-go-lucky person I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all of that, I didn't like who I was. I didn't like who I saw myself becoming. So I sat and tried working on myself for years.
That's awesome.
Self-care is so overlooked these days. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the thing, at least to my life, it's that thing, it's kind of wait till last to work on it. And I probably should work on it on the front end a little bit more. I'm sorry about your misfortune, man. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm sure the uncertainty in life has not been pleasant. Your situations and stuff. I can't imagine,
Well, and like I said, I mean, It was 15, 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And it all started with my dog dying.
Oh, no.
That's the worst.
I've lost so many pets.
Well,
So hard.
Yeah. But things have turned around.
That's good.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're mimicking each other. We're on the same wavelength.
Well, yeah. For the first time ever, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a mental health resources channel in our Discord, and one of the greatest people in our community, Chris 3711, he put this together, and it's really cool. It's talks about like self-care, like things that you can do to, if you're feeling if you feel like you're slipping like that, then you can try this to kind of refocus and that. And
Yeah.
it's a really good tool.
Yeah. He's definitely a saint. 14. Sorry, had to throw that pun in. Hey, Ellimist.
There's another group of people that I'm gonna shamelessly plug here.
Go for
Sure.
it.
There's Guardians Mental Health.
Yeah.
Yep.
He used to be part of
Be a
them.
part of it. Yep.
Okay.
Used to be the Saint 14 project. That's why I threw that pun in there. Yeah, they used to be a part of the Saint 14.
Oh, now I make the
Yeah, sorry. I know. My jokes sometimes they're not. My jokes never hit usually. Hazel can attest.
Usually,
Yeah,
usually
they usually fall flat.
Well, like when I jumped into and noticed them, they were Guardians Mental Health.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know the history there.
Yeah.
We've
We had Average Joe on.
Yep.
And he was a trip. I loved it.
I like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good guy.
And I still know, I actually wrote it down what his motto was when we asked him that question.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. And I am going to probably tattoo it on my forehead just so I remember it. It's keep fucking going.
It is a great motto.
And I'm like, that's great.
Oh, that is good.
Isn't that nice? Nice and succinct. I love it. It's no bullshit. Let's go. I love that motto. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I like that.
I know, you don't feel like doing it or whatever. Let's keep fucking moving.
Yep, exactly.
That's the one time I will drop an F-bomb in the podcast.
And he'll edit it out for his wife. But yeah.
No, I'm not editing that out because it's it's very powerful.
It is.
Actually, on that note, there is a line from Saint 14 in lore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying.
Ooh.
I like it.
I like that.
It's on the perfect paradox.
Shotgun. Nice. See, I overlook all that. I'll get the weapon of gold. This looks cool. Looks badass. Oh, let's go in the Crucible and see how it works. I never look at the flavor text. Now I'm going to start looking at the flavor text of every weapon I grab now. And they don't all come
flavor
with
text and lore tabs and
yeah, they don't all have. Do they all have flavor text? I don't think they all do. Just certain guns.
all weapons have flavor text of some kind.
Right.
They don't all have lore tabs.
Gotcha. You got to look for that triangle button, right? If you're on the console, it is.
Yeah.
To pop it up. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ellimist. You just added like 5 minutes to the show, and next week where he's going to go like, I've got a new lore or a new.
Well, you still don't have a weapon of the month. I've been bugging your ass. I had a weapon of the month in January, and we're like, Hazel, like, I got one. We're gonna do one. And,
I do have one. I still have one.
Okay, well, remind me next week when Fud's on, and we'll do it. Okay.
Bitch, I told you about it last week. I was like, let's do it. And you were like, okay. And then we got carried away.
Well, I'm old. You got to remind me of these things.
It's the All right.
Hey, you know what? I just gave you 2 of them.
There we go.
Median and annual skate.
There we go.
Yep, that's a spy for 2 months.
Hey, Ellimist. Dude, thanks for sharing your life with us, man. Really.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Well, that leads to the next segment, Hazel. Think he's ready for it?
I've got faith in him.
All right. Speed runs next. We'll do that right after this.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
All right, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. This segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of over 250 randomly asked questions, and Ellimist here is going to have 90 seconds to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, and at the end of the year, The guest with the most answered will win a cool prize and the title of 2021 Speedrun Champion. The questions are randomly asked, so no one can memorize the order, and just, answer what quickly comes to mind, especially if it's an open question. Tonight, I'm going to ask the questions randomly from the list. Hazel is the timekeeper and quality control expert. In the event of a questionable answer, Hazel's decision will be final. Startian is our current leader at 39. So, Ellimist, you ready to do this, man?
God, no, but let's do it.
All right. Got that heart rate going. I love it. I can hear it already. All right. You ready, Hazel?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Titan.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Void, Solar, Arc, or Stasis?
Arc.
What is your favorite Destiny planet?
Nessus.
Ikora, Cade, or Zavala?
Cade.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Should there be freelance solo strikes in Destiny 2?
Yes.
What is your favorite Destiny exotic?
Dune Marchers.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Is the Drifter evil? Yes or no?
No.
Is Telesto the besto?
Yes.
I like this guy. What is the most used app on your phone?
Can't say that.
All right. Have you ever been to the lighthouse?
Once.
Wired or wireless?
Wireless.
Which do you prefer, Aldrin or Crow?
Crow.
If you could take any one famous person to dinner, who would it be?
Einstein.
Pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
Anna Bray or Ada 1?
Oof. Let's go, Anna.
Name one possession you cannot live without.
My phone.
Eris Morn or Marasov?
Marasov.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Retail.
Vader or Yoda?
Yoda.
What's the best sandwich?
Reuben.
Blues or metal?
Time.
Metal.
Nice. I like how he answered the questions honestly.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind,
like
future guest. Yes.
Stacy. Yeah.
Hey, man, that was great. I love doing this. It's so much fun. I had a lot of questions just in case. But you did solid, man. Hazel, how well do you do, man?
24.
Yeah, it's a solid number.
All right.
Startian is not human, so just ignore that 39 number. Don't get intimidated.
Kingsley gave her his Excel spreadsheet of the question.
He did. They did research. I can't prove it. So they dropped the lawsuit against us for last year. So I have to bite my tongue here. I can't say anything further, but I do have.
Can we edit that out that I said that about the Excel spreadsheet?
No, I don't know. Maybe. How much money you got?
It's our money too, man.
Oh, hey, that's true. All right. Well, hey, thanks, man. That was fun. That's fun. All right. I have a question for our listeners, though. Do you have a great speedrun question? If that's a yes, join our Discord and enter them in our Speedrun Question Ideas channel. We're going to do it again this year. We'll add them to next year's speedrun. Just remember that they need to be yes or no, 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. And at the end of the year, we're going to have a drawing, 2 drawings actually, for a $25 gift card of your choice for 2 lucky people. And you can enter up to 5 questions to go into the drawing. So good luck. All right. That means it is time for This Week at Bungie. Right. This week at Bungie. What do we got this week, Hazel?
Okay, so Bungie opens up the TWAB talking about the horrible events that happened in Atlanta, and they're asking people to go to I'mReadyMovement.org so they can donate any funds to the Asian community that was impacted by the acts that happened. So that's how they open up the TWAB. So please feel free to go there, learn about what happened and what you can do to provide support and advocacy for those, basically what happened. Aside from that, This week at Bungie, they opened up the Grandmasters. So, as you know, Ellimist already talked about, you can camp out up top, you can camp out in the back, you can camp out in the little room on the left. There you go. Instant loot. Not really. Maybe 30 minutes later. Aside from that, Iron Banner is coming back on Tuesday. Gator's favorite thing.
Woohoo!
There we go. Clear Eyes of Tomorrow. So, they are going to be buffing, finally, the damage that that thing was doing, because it was doing less than intended to mini-boss combatants. So, they're fixing that, and also they are going to be implementing better bad luck protection, basically. So, it's going to be going up from 2% to 4%, apparently, and it's going to be retroactive. So, if you've done it like 50 times, which I think that didn't Ninja Muffin, does she still have it yet?
No, she did get it. I felt bad because I missed the raid the other night. I had to put a bed together, so I had to back out an hour before, and I was like, I wanted to see her get it, and they said, "Oh, don't worry about it. She got it last week." I'm like, oh, okay.
But hey, how many raids have you done since getting yours?
Done a few. Not many, not many, but I did a PC. I did a PC Deepstone Crypt, and I did a PC Garden of Salvation. Since then,
wow, 2 whole raids.
All right.
On
that. So, and that both of those fixes are going to be implemented on March 23rd. Originally, for anybody who read this immediately, it said March 30th, but they actually got the date wrong, and it's March 23rd. So that's going to be this coming week.
It's going to be a glorious day.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's going to run that, and you go like, hey, guess what? It's going to be raining Eyes of Tomorrow.
You know what, though? I will say this.
Yeah.
It works 100% on when you're invading Guardians in Gambit. It works 100% of the time.
I think you're the reason why Ellimist is pretty salty about it.
I'm sorry. It's so much fun.
Too. But yeah. Yeah. Nothing better than going over as a hunter using Revenant and then Eyes of Tomorrow on your second invade.
Oh,
it's
God.
just glorious. I'm a travesty.
We've had stories.
Oh, and see, I'm the guy who uses truth.
No. See, that used to be my go-to, Ellimist, until I got the Eyes of Tomorrow. I'm like, I can kill more than one at one time? Hell yeah. I've gotten so many Army of Ones doing that, and I come back. In fact, the first thing I say when I come back in from returning, I'm like, they're not really happy with me right now.
Yeah. So, well, Elmas, do you have Eyes of Tomorrow?
I do.
Nice. Okay. I was going to say, if not, you're going to be getting it soon, I bet. So, all right.
My brother's currently trying to grind for it, so he's excited.
That poor guy. I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't have it yet, who's done many raids.
How many did Kate do before she finally got it? If she did finish last week, probably 50. Would you say 50 is a good number?
I mean, well, she was raiding like at least 3
times a week. Yeah,
minimum.
Wow,
since it dropped. So
that's a lot.
No, unfortunately, the way the TWAB reads, if she actually was doing different characters first each week, bad luck protection wouldn't stack
right
properly.
I was going to mention
it was all individual character based.
Right.
Yeah, and now it's like once per week, basically.
Well, although they are smashing the numbers together.
Yeah, it's cumulative now. Instead of for completing all 3 characters, you only got a 1 value for the week. Now you're getting 3 values a week, which means it'll move up faster. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, there is a deeper dive into the numbers and how it was like factored and things like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check out the TWAB to see about that and that change and then the nitty gritty details there. It's kind of an interesting read.
Yeah.
Then moving on here is Rock'em Sock'em, which is the for some reason they basically decided to do a poll. I guess they like the dinos versus movie villains, and they're doing another one here. This one is actually on Twitter though, but it's who's going to win, the Wyvern or the Taken Captain?
Can I just say something here?
Taken Captain, obviously.
I have speedrun questions based on this. I haven't used them yet, but I have several scenarios like this in the future speedruns.
God help us.
No, it's great.
So what do you guys think? The Wyvern or the Taken Captain?
Taking captains can teleport too. I'm going with I got the captain.
Obviously, it's the chicken. The chicken is going to win. The Thigh-Dra.
The Thigh-Dra.
I love it.
The Swole Hydra.
Dim thighs.
They are meaty.
I'm done. That's all I'm going to see now. That's all I'm going to see. Thank you so much for ruining the game.
You're welcome.
Things I learned in this episode. The Thigh-Dra. Okay.
That might be the title of the show.
Okay, so Trials of Osiris is back. Yay! Until it's pulled back down 4 hours later. Or less.
Right.
I actually wanted to do Trials this year. Well, this season, I guess. But, damn Haka emblem. So.
Wait a minute. It was back up, though, right? It was back up this week. They said as of 10.
It was up for like less than 12 hours.
It wasn't even 12 hours.
I got a tweet today. It said at 10 a.m. They're re-enabling Trials for this season. For this weekend.
Right.
That's and they already took it down?
No, that was last.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't have as my wife would say, I didn't have my listening ears on. All right, my bad.
Yeah. No, you're just psychic, and they are going to take it back down.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, so, any thoughts on Trials, you guys? Glad to see it back. How long do you think it'll be up for before they take it back down?
I'm hoping that it doesn't. Like, I'm hoping that they're whatever they did actually fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've got a seasonal challenge that's actually related to winning rounds in Trials, and I'm a completionist.
Yeah, you and Gator both.
Can I just make this clear? Very clear. No comment.
No comment
about Trials.
What?
Inside joke.
Okay. All right. I'm on the outside.
The Discord will get it.
Okay. Good for them.
All right. That just fell flat. That's getting edited out. All right. Never mind. Shit.
Oh, are you talking about Recubs?
No comment.
Oh, Gator's going to get a Recub, y'all. All right. So, moving on. Bright Dust. Apparently, there was an issue that nobody noticed, I guess, about Bright Dust not showing up for anybody who completed Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit weekly challenges from February 10th to the 23rd. So, they magically just gave that back to people. And it was approximately 337,000 people. Yeah, I didn't notice because I don't give a shit about Bright Dust anymore. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Did either of you find Gentleman notice that you got extra Bright Dust?
No, I've been getting my Bright Dust because I keep an eye on it when I complete the bounties or whatever. I do.
Yeah, I figured.
I was one of the people affected. I had no clue until Bungie posted the whole thing saying, "Hey, we've given you Bright Dust."
Thanks.
Congratulations.
I'm sitting there like, I think I see like 200 difference, but okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If anybody else who noticed that they weren't getting it, just let me know in the Discord. Yeah, nobody besides probably Raven. Moving on. Okay, now this is like game breaking right here. So I'm glad they added this. And it's this one here. This is going to be fixed in a future update. It's a known issue. And it's Sola's Scar is translated as Solar Scar in Spanish. And aside from that,
No bueno.
exactly.
That's no bueno. That's no bueno.
Yeah. Aside from that, that's pretty much everything. There was a neat little video for the movie of the week where a Titan used his Thunder Crash on the last part of the Presage mission and ended up like flying through the last part and made it all the way to the end of it just by flying through it on one Thunder Crash. I have no idea what kind of luck was involved with that or how many hours of practice, but it worked.
Yeah, see, does anybody remember Superman when the three villains got flying powers and the third guy was kind of the knucklehead and kind of flew and then realized he lost his flying power and went, oh, shit, and fell? Or am I just old? Nobody remember the Superman episode?
I remember that.
Yeah, that's how I feel like when I'm using Thunder Crash at distance, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're dead. Time to go down. That's how I feel when this guy was doing this with this. That's all I could think of is, yeah, that would be me. If I tried that, I would be falling like so far short of that.
Yeah, I have no idea even how to control Thunder Crash, and I was a Titan main for since D1 up until like Beyond Light. So yeah, and I can't figure his shit out. So yeah. I mean, more power to this guy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the TWAB.
All right, good deal. Well,
yeah. Anybody have any thoughts on anything else?
Yeah, definitely. Ellimist, any thoughts?
I've got a few.
Go for it.
So Thunder Crash is easier to control with a controller. And after seeing that video, I want to try that.
He showed you the path.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Like, I've been soloing Presage a few different times, so I know how, like, I know the paths, I know how it all works. After seeing that, I'm like, ooh, I must try that now.
Yeah.
Let us know how that works out.
Oh, I'm going to fail epically.
Yeah, I have no idea how the hell to even control that to that degree. I'm thinking that was like cleverly edited to like it's from this spot to this spot to this spot to this spot.
That's
but
probably,
I have no basis for that. That's just because I suck at life, and I'm assuming that because I can't do it, nobody else can.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So aside from that, let's move on.
All right, then. If we're done with the TWAB, then let's move on to our special lore segment. We'll do that right after this. Hey, gang, just a quick reminder. We now have a Destiny 2 clan, and Hazel and I invite you to be a part of it.
If you're looking to find a clan, now would be a great time to jump in and get to know some of these people that you've heard on the show. And we're not hardcore, so you don't have to worry about, us slave driving you to do raids and shit like that. Enjoying your time is basically all that we ask.
So, if you're looking for a clan out there, we have a permanent link in our Discord under our channel GDC Destiny 2 Clan, where you can find a link. Otherwise, look for Guardian Downcast or DOWN is our call sign.
We do ask that you join our Discord first, so that way we can communicate clan nights and things along those lines. And aside from that, you can lurk all you like.
Thanks very much, gang. I want to start out by saying I wanted to do this lore book tonight because one of our guests in one of our past shows, Not Arf, shout out to Not Arf, I asked him off air, I said, dude, what is your favorite lore book? And he goes, honestly, it's the Drifter's Gambit. So when I talked to Ellimist before we began this program earlier in the week, he asked me, what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? I says, you know what? Not Arf said that this book was so great and he really loved the lore here. I said, let's do the Drifter's Gambit. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're doing the book, A Drifter's Gambit. And Ellimist, before we read the passages in this, do you mind kind of give us a little intro of what this is about?
These are all entries from a certain renegade's observations of the Drifter. He's specifically watching the Drifter and taking note of, why he's doing things the way he is. And a lot of that is because when this book was first introduced, Gambit was just brand new.
That's right.
The Drifter was a brand new character. No history, no nothing.
Okay. Well, with that premise, you want to start with the first reading?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the floor is yours, sir.
This is Uneasy Feeling. I've followed him for a short while now. Tracked his path since he turned up on mine. He's not like them, but not far off. Hard to trust, hard to know. He's seen more than most can imagine, and done things most wouldn't dare. But he's always kept his distance, stayed far from the light. Why head cityside now? Why risk antagonizing those best equipped to cut his journey short? Can't quite say. I get the sense he's on the run. But from what? From who? There are shadows in his past. Do they linger? Do they hunt? Or is his desperation driven by other concerns? All I've seen, all I've uncovered of him, of his long winding road, says he's made enemies at just about every turn. Over centuries, that list grew real long. He's been comfortable on the dodge out beyond the reef, ever moving, ever exploring, never concerned with the dangers riding his wake. So, again, why now? Why here? What's his play? More important, what's his game? A Renegade's observations of a Drifter.
Justified means. The Drifter wasn't always my target. In fact, he only came to my attention when he started running with them I call prey. Before that, they existed only as rumor. The strange lightbearer who journeyed beyond the system's edge, the lone wanderer who was only a guardian, by reductive modern definitions. He had a ghost. He was touched by the light. His motivations, though, were his own. Some might say selfish. And I have to agree. In regard to the concepts of duty and devotion and using one's gifts for the betterment of humanity, not his play. The city be damned, the traveler be damned, the light be damned. Which makes his run to the tower and his newfound benevolence all the more curious. I lost track of him when the traveler fell silent. Couldn't that severed connection drew him back? If so, I doubt it's something he'd admit. Yet here he is, unwelcome, but with a gift of persuasion. I can't say it doesn't make me uneasy. There was, so we're clear, a time I'd call him a threat. There was a time I'd look to him as punishment for the paths he's tread. But things aren't quite so simple these days. Gaul taught us that. And while still I have a plan to punish those who have transgressed, I can also see the value in certain risk. This gambit, this Drifter's strange little game, may be just one such. It requires care and a keen eye to ensure the means don't consume the ends, but I got a feeling our new friend might be a necessary catalyst, and if not, he sure makes a fine cut of bait. A Renegade's observations of a Drifter.
Step into the shade. I want to be clear. I do not trust him. You get the sense he's working to mend that, sure, but the end game will reveal the truth of his intentions. The con is a long one, friend. But if any are built to see it done and see it done right, the Drifter is our man. So we see it play out, his gambit and ours. It may not be ideal. In fact, I'd say far from. It's just that. I don't see another way forward. The light is fragile but quick. The dark, dense and slow. If we want to control the balance, tip it in our favor. If we want to confront those shadows who would see it shift further toward the night, we must play in the gray in between. We must draw them out. Many have fallen to this path. It's not one I tread lightly, but I've found the only way to best a shadow is to meet it in the shade. The Vanguard won't allow it. They're noble, but they're flawed, frightened. Most Guardians wouldn't dare it. Too many legends of heroes lost to such unpleasant pursuits. But things have changed. The Oryx Slayers and their like have danced within Ascendant realms. The nightmare, legends of Bonewalkers and Netherworlds have been cast into the light. Old fears are now trampled beneath enduring triumph. Now, if ever, is the time to step proud into the unknown and bathe it in our light. And if doing so draws attention of enemies, old and new, if we tempt damnation, so be it. We will stand ever vigilant and burn them all away. Or maybe the Drifter pulls a double cross and our end is met. No way of knowing, no way to tell. I say we let it ride. Trust ourselves, trust our instincts, our light.
Artifacts and old friends. By chance, he and I crossed paths in a neutral setting. Didn't give me his name, just called himself a drifter. Told him if that's how it was, he could call me pal. He laughed at that, got comfortable. Got all kinds of open about where he'd been, what he was hauling, even dropped a tip on where an old friend of mine was hiding. I still wonder if he knows who I really am. He told me he left the system as soon as he was risen. Not immediately, sure. He had to get his bearings, find a ship, get it fit, get it flying. But soon as, he was good as gone. Drawn to the outer, he says. I can appreciate. He says he's seen the deep side of Jupiter, been to the core mines of Saturn. Name drops old myths no one's heard. The Luvial Crux, the shift chasms below Elios, the fourth tomb of Nezarec. Goes on about the idols of Lower Sul, the treasure of Exodus Prime, the solar engine of Dead Star 6. I think he's making most of it up, but he's got relics and etchings. He's got materials not of this system, odd metals, obsidian flames, thought engines, edible null cakes, and a stuffed something that looks like a rabbit biofused with a cephalopod. He keeps all this stuff to himself. His gets, he calls them. If they're for show, they put on a great one. But to what end? The clutter of oddities he's got shipside ain't nothing compared to what he's hauling. That big, black mass of nothing you ain't ever seen before. He calls it an artifact. But it's more than that. Just don't know what exactly. He said he got far out as he's ever been. Said it was from a place cold enough to snuff out your light. I asked him, was it Vex? Hive? KG is all. He said no. It was just other. And it was powerful. Maybe. That was his qualifier. Maybe. Why the hell bring it to the inner system then? Maybes are trouble. But he's got an answer for everything. He says, brother, maybes are where the real treasure hides. He could tell I wasn't satisfied, but I knew he wasn't lying. The chunk was other for sure, and Ghost said its readings were off the charts, but abstract, unlike anything anyone had encountered. Can't say that made me comfortable. But then the Drifter, with his easy manner and eager charm, asked if I'd ever met a man in black named Callum. He was clearly changing the subject, but he was lucky enough, or smart enough, to pick one I had interest in, and I could respect that. A Renegade's observations of a Drifter.
Shadow on a wall. I knew Callum by another name, a hated name. The Drifter had run with Callum's crew for some time. I get the sense he would have been one, and the same as them, lockstep down Sorrow's Road, if they'd met sooner. Hell, maybe they were lockstep. Maybe his gambit was theirs. Maybe the bait set when the Drifter first came to the tower was for me and mine. Maybe all we were playing at was our own end. But all that's not worth the effort to dwell on. A path's been set, best to walk it. If the turnaround, that final bend leads to death, all we can do is return the favor. Drifter told me Callum had a spot, a hold he used all his own. Said his crew'd been running separate jobs to keep me off their trail. Said they knew 1-to-1 they'd have a hard time walking away, but rolling together only increased their footprint, made him easier to trail. Made sense, with 6 of them. Callum's crew, spread out, each running their own search for whatever it is they're searching for, gave me cross signals. I'd hear conflicting stories of their deeds from one end of the system to the next, and I had a hard time keeping up. But this info, Callum's safe space, it was a lead worth a look. 2 weeks into a living hell, I thought Drifter had fed me a line, maybe trying to kill 2 birds, 1 stone. There were signs of a shadow's presence, but they were cold, old. I waited anyway, shot me some taken to kill the time. The wait paid off. Callum entered. Could hear him before I saw him. He was arguing with his ghost. I waited on the hope they'd spill goods I could use to track the others. No such luck. Their words were heated. Callum had gone too far. His ghost was angry. I don't blame her. It caught me when she always used his proper name, Callum, and not his other. She still cared, still hoped. Then she screamed. I drew and stepped into the light. Callum had his ghost on his left hand. It was silent. With his right, he had stabbed her through the optics with a sickly dagger, a tool carved from the jagged spikes fired from a weapon I shall not name. The ghost was dead, and Callum just laughed. I think because he knew what came next. He and I had words. Told him I'd never kill them all. Then he dropped the shell and went for a shooter. I lit my fire and painted him on the wall without another word. A Renegade's observations of a Drifter.
Bright side of a bad idea. At this point, the Drifter had me comfortable with the idea of him, but only just. Been a long time since trust came easy. I still needed to understand, needed to grasp what he was after or what was after him. Survival depends on knowing what's coming best you can. This is before I came to you, but only just. This is me smoothing out the rough angles before risking a proposition I know carries baggage. Anyway, he and I went out, found a spot we could be alone, and he showed me. He showed me proof that all of his relics, artifacts, treasures, and junk weren't just for show. Our shady friend actually went out and lassoed himself a little piece of hell. While Guardians have been waging war with the Taken, while the city's newest legends have been trespassing on ascendant ground and kicking in Taken skulls, the Drifter has been playing Warlock, which he ain't, if it wasn't clear. Not by common understanding, anyway. In drawing strength from curiosity and using knowledge to bend understanding to his will, this wily bastard has long since shed any pretensions of class or the limitations therein. While you lot have been having your fun, drunk on loot, dancing on the corpses of your enemies, he's been watching, learning, stealing, and planning. Now, I make no promises that what he's done was ever intended for the greater good. Point of fact, I actively doubt it. But here we are. He's kit-bashed Vex Tech with fallen components, married it to hive magic, and scavenged golden-aged science with a sprinkling of who knows what. And he's... Hold up. I know this sounds bad. Sounds like just the kind of trouble we squash. But he secured a pocket of the Ascendant Plane. Not a throne world, nothing that grand, but a big enough chunk of matter. And he's gone and caged an army. A taken army. Leftovers from Oryx's reign? Something new? Something old? Something hers? Can't say. I don't know. But he has them there. He says it's to hold them, study them. But the best bet says his intentions aren't so clean. Purity of intent aside, this is what he wanted to show me. This is why he's here. His gambit. He wants to help humanity. Help us poor fools who call ourselves guardians. Learn how to control not only the taken, but the powers that bind them. Sounds like a bad idea? I agree. Bigger picture? Sometimes bad ideas are the best option. Hell, sometimes they are the only. A renegade's observations of a drifter.
The price of a double-sided coin. Here's the play. Ours, I mean. You have places. Cleared zones. Not necessarily the safest spots, but not wholly untamed. I say you, allow the drifter to run his game, and let's you and me watch. We watch the action. We watch him. We watch who plays and who doesn't. On top of that, we watch their aggression. Who's diving too deep, too fast? Who's less keen to grow their knowledge, their strength, and who's simply looking to unleash themselves? The true promise of this gambit is what you and I can learn about our enemies, maybe even about ourselves. That has to be first and foremost. After that, we assess Gambit's value and its risks. If the danger escalates, we shut it down. If any Guardians go too far, we shut it down. And them, if need be. My gut says we won't have to. My gut says, against everything I was raised to believe, this is our next step forward. And here's the rub. You know this, but only fair that I reiterate. As secret as this whole mess is, and as vigilant as we'll need to be, word must spread. It must. And when it does, I need you to corral Zavala and any others who won't understand. Because the other side of that jade coin is the trap being set. This long con. The final bend after a long haul. If Drifter plays his part, and I believe he will, then those who test the edges of the light will hear tell and come a-callin'. The shadows brought to light. But the ruse must be complete. Every Guardian must play their part. If you can buy in, if you can see the value in what's to come, then we roll. If not, you can stop this here and now. I'll put a bullet in him. Be done with it. Just say the word. A Renegade's observations of a drifter.
Checking the chamber. Your jacks sure can clear a table. Combat area's clean. We're prepped and ready. Set for the first run on Nessus. The drifter will pick up your guardians en route. Have your jacks primed to engage if, when, it all goes wrong. Not saying I have doubts, but if it hasn't been clear, I have doubts. I'll be nearby as discussed. Anything goes off rails, we'll close it and shut it down. After, if it runs smooth, and we're not all dead. He says he'll set up shop in the tower. Seems risky, yeah, but that's not his lot to handle. Truth is, I'd much rather have him tower side where he can be watched and collected, if it comes to that. The alternative, him running free and clear through the system, isn't an option. He's too much of a liability on his own. Luckily, he seems open to having you nearby. Still, get the sense this whole shindig is something he's cooking up to face down some big, bad news. Some problem he's making ours. But that's his nature. A renegade's observations of a drifter.
A matter of trust. Well, that didn't go as planned. But your guardians rallied and saw it through. And the drifter did his best to fill them in on the sudden change state he'd dropped on them. I was seconds from rushing in and toasting him. But he handled the situation and set the teams up to finish the match. To be honest, I thought it would all go much worse. What concerns me is he'd never mentioned the word primeval before. And that's a problem for obvious reasons. Tearing soldiers of the deep from another realm is crossing a bridge too far as is. But those beasts, those weren't normal taken, possessed, and set to rage. They were born of that shadow realm, and they were angry? Worse. They were hungry for the light. You could feel it, even a ways off. Their aura and their rage weighed on me, cast a shadow I could feel in my core. That he kept them from us is unsettling. He says it was a necessary deception. I put my gun to his head and asked if there were any others he'd mind sharing. He just laughed, as he does, twiddling that coin of his. He smiled that winner's smile, told me to take a load off. I almost shot him there. He said we'd never have agreed to let him run this competition if we'd known the full extent of the danger. He's not wrong, probably. But it's hard to move forward knowing the thing we've known all along is true. The drifter can't be trusted. Yet, what choice do we have? Again, the risks are justified by the promise of the ends. I leave it all in your capable hands. I'll be watching. My presence only muddies the waters, so I'll be watching from afar. If we're lucky, this gambit will draw the interest of the rest of his old crew, and the shadows will make themselves known. Till then, I'll return to the hunt, see if I can cut him off at the pass, wherever it may be. Oh, before I forget, and at the risk of repeating myself, keep my real name off your lips. He don't know my face, but he sure as hell knows my name. This all goes sideways otherwise. A renegade's observations of a drifter.
The long con. Can you do it, Drifter? Can you make the man with the golden gun the villain in the eyes of those who would tempt the dark? It's the final piece. Can you make them fear him? Because if you can, any guardian who truly embraces the nature of your gambit will find themselves a real connection to the mantle of that dead legend. They will take bare that vile title. They will wear his vile colors. They will challenge and even remake the infamy of his vile deeds. Through these temptations, they will grow strong, but the hatred must be true. Driven by the power that they find in your wicked game. Sealed in the fear you'll seed in the name of the man with the golden gun. I wish there was another way, but your old brothers and sisters in shadow are too far gone. You've seen it. You know as well as me, better than me, the path they walk offers only ruin. They must be stopped. So spread your unholy word, brother. Give new life to old myths. And when that hateful name Dredgen spreads throughout the system, his real disciples will have no choice but to confront their sins. And you and me? we'll be the ones hearing their confessions. Oh, one more thing. Let me know who has the gall to change their names. I might want to give him a word or two. A renegade's final words to a drifter before resuming the hunt.
Wow. What a powerful story. Woo. You know what? One thing I've realized is I don't envy you guys doing lore. This is I've never thought so hard in my life. It just making sure the context of the story was correct and stuff. Man, thanks, man, for doing this with us. We get to pretend we're a lore podcast for 30 minutes.
Oh, it's all good.
Hey, so what are we talking about here? I mean, this was, like you said, this was before Gambit was really a thing. I'll definitely look at Gambit differently from now on. That's for damn sure.
Shit, right?
But I know, Hazel, you have questions, but I gotta ask, who is the renegade speaking here?
That is Shin Malphur.
That's what I thought. I wanted to make
man
sure.
with the golden gun.
Yes. Oh my God. What a story.
Now, the problem is that he also has another name.
Okay.
Dredgen Vale.
Really? Like the Veil? The Veil?
Shin Malphur
Huh?
was the one who is leading the Shadows of Yore.
Okay.
So whenever they were talking about, the Shadows,
Right.
capital S,
Mm-hmm.
they were specifically talking about a group of people who were following in Dredgen Yore's path. And that's what he's talking about, is the Shadows of Yore. But he's playing this long con with everybody, not telling them that he is he is the leader of the Shadows. So this entire book is him leading us to believe that, like, the Drifter, who was also a Shadow, doesn't know who he is. And, they're trying to spread this whole, like, myth about the Shadows of Yore just so that they can set things up to dissuade people, to dissuade Guardians from diving into the darkness.
So, do I need to watch my back for putting Dredgen on my title?
No.
Okay.
Shin has retired.
Okay.
Oh, darn. That was kind of my question. Because, I mean, I did some checking after reading all this, and I'm like, okay, so is Shin Malphur still alive? And it's like, yeah, he is. And apparently, like, the common belief is that he's just out there and he's just still tracking the darkness and things like that. And now that we're tinkering around the darkness, I was wondering, like, if he is going to try to, not appreciate our playing with the darkness.
Well, so all along he was telling our Guardian, like us specifically, that we are the one that can toe that line between light and dark. And so he's always been trying to teach us that is where we need to operate, in that gray area. And that leads him to this weird plan involving Callum. I forget what his shadow name is, but he is a Shadow of Yore.
Okay. And
they stage the whole fight. It was a Shadow on a Wall, where it's talking about how Callum killed his ghost with a sickly dagger from a weapon I shall not name.
We know what that is.
Thorn. But he killed a ghost And then Shin popped his golden gun and just laid into him.
And I not to interrupt, but I remember this when we did the mission at the first
The
part
malfeasance mission.
Yes. And there was a black shadow of a person on a rock. I always remember that.
Yes.
Wow.
That was Callum.
Wow. Jeez.
Come to find out, when you actually convert the original Thorn into Lumina,
Mhm.
you get a whole other story.
Really?
That entire scene was specifically planned out so that anybody who was following the shadows and,
Mhm.
trying to dive into the dark
Right.
would see Callum and what happened to Callum, and they would start backing off if they weren't serious about towing that line between light and dark.
Really? Huh. Wow. What a great book. I can see why Not Arf liked this book so much.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And it's gotten more meaning because of new stuff that has come out.
Right.
When this originally came out, we were just like, oh, Shin is watching the Drifter. Drifter ran with the shadows. But we didn't know everything else that was going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Until later that year, actually.
Season of Arrivals.
Part of it was Season of the Drifter, and then the other part was Season of Opulence.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to the darkness. That we were... Well, the fact that they were trying to dissuade us from dabbling in the darkness.
And see, that's why I'm hoping that Shin isn't fully retired, because I wonder what he's going to say about us using stasis.
Mm-hmm. That was my thought. Wow. Well, hey,
And with as much stasis as you see in the Crucible, I really want him to come out of retirement.
That would be cool. See him take over the Crucible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, Shax, hold my beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions, Hazel?
Not really. I mean, that was my only one, was that it seemed like Shin was very much against the darkness, I guess, before this kind of thing. Just from the little bit of research that I was doing. So I was just not sure necessarily about what he would think about us doing, darkness type stuff. But it was funny. The one thing that I do remember more than anything else with lore was Dredgen Yor and Rezel Azir, just because I was like, this Rezel Azir guy is pretty cool. Because I was like, the one thing that I did read was Rezel Azir, and then I was like, ooh, this Dredgen Yor guy, he's a bad motherfucker. So yeah.
And the way they told that story specifically, you got all this stuff about Dredgen Yor, and then I believe it was in the second year they started putting out stuff about Rezel Azir, and the two stories were not connected at all until the very last entry for Rezel Azir. And you're like, oh, this awesome Titan that we got to liking is actually Dredgen Yor? No.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for indulging us in this, Ellimist. I just freaked out when I heard about Callum stabbing his own ghost. What the hell, man? That freaked me out when I read that.
Ironically enough, that was not his actual ghost.
Oh, so it was a setup. Oh, man.
His ghost is currently in hiding with another Shadow of Yor.
Really?
With a different shell. They put his ghost's shell on a dead ghost.
Oh man.
Just for that scene.
So, okay, it all makes sense now. Wow. Hey, see, listeners, this is why we need to dive into lore. This is why we need to listen to podcasts like Focus Fire Chat and Guardians of Lore, because they talk about this in depth, and we're not set up for that. And you could see, and you can really go down a hole on a lot of this stuff. That's why I love listening to those podcasts, because while I'm at work, I can sit here and think about, well, that's the thing I love about Destiny lore is it branches out into all kinds of possibilities. And I love hearing people talk about the different interpretations of the lore. So, well, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for letting us play lore podcast tonight.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. Everybody did a great job reading it. I thought I'd stumble quite a bit, so no one will ever know when I edit it. Well, hey, let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's go to our community questions. We'll do that right after this.
Hey Guardians, would you like to send us a question for the show? Well, there's 4 ways to do it.
Number 1, join our Discord server. There's a join link in our show notes. We have some great gamers in there, by the way, and you can just lurk or hang out or jump right in and talk with us. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show.
You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also tweet out almost every week about our upcoming show, guest, and you can respond there with your questions at guardian_d_cast is our Twitter handle.
Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your questions at speakpipe.com/guardiandowncast. Remember, that's all one word. And we'll play it on the show for you guys.
SpeakPipe is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, thank you for all you guys do, and toddles.
And later, Guardian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week. This is where we get our community questions. And man almighty, does our community step up. I tried to pin a question today, and it says, you have the maximum stuff pinned. I'm like, really? We got to get to working on these questions because we just get so many in every week. I love it. So let's start off. Hazel, why don't you pick the first one, man?
Yeah. So this is, I don't know about the wording on this question, but we'll go with this one. So from Laz, attorney at law, simple question. How have you managed to survive all those episodes with Orchid?
A lot of alcohol.
Shots fired.
No, she's been great. She pushes my buttons quite often. So her and I do kind of duke it out behind the scenes, but for the most part, we do respect each other.
Nice.
That's awesome.
You know, if we do manage to get Orchid on the show, we'll ask her that same question.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll have to hear the other side. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I've got one from Sneaky Snake here. Question for the lore guest. Who exactly are the good people in the Destiny universe? I get that we think we're good for saving humanity and all that, but now we kind of commit genocide whenever we want a new gun or someone says something mean to someone else.
Wow. So the actual good people are the civilians.
Ouch. That hurts.
The innocents, yeah.
Because, it's not going to be one of the enemy races because they are out with their own motives, trying to push their agenda or trying to end humanity, end life, period. And it's not the Guardians because, like the question said, whenever somebody says something and holds up a shiny new gun, we go commit genocide.
That's true. Or
Yeah.
or if what was that one meme that
Zavala did?
Zavala, well, not Zavala, but
Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick did. He says, "Yeah, you be lucky that Eris doesn't make you into a gun."
If I remember the meme right, it's all I have to do to get the Guardian to kill you is tell them that Eris can turn you into some kind of new gun.
Yeah, that's it.
What was it? Using darkness to clap ass in new ways.
So, Kato, watch your back.
I love Lance Reddick.
I love that he is so including into the Destiny community. That's a poor way of saying it. I love that he's game. He's game. Yeah,
exactly.
He's like, yeah, I'm game. I'll read it. Why not? I mean, this is a movie star. I've watched his movies, man. He's been in a ton of movies. He didn't have to do that.
Oh, I loved him on Fringe.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And the thing is, he is a Destiny fan too.
Yes.
Like, he actually has characters in the game.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So, Lance Reddick, if you're listening, we love you, brother.
Definitely.
All right. Hazel, your turn.
Yep. All right. Question for the guest. This is from Sweaty Spooks. What do we know about Fundament, if I'm spelling that right? I recall at Not Arf reading some lore about it one time, and it always got me more curious about Fundament.
So we know that it's a large gas giant. And there were continents actually under the gas giant, or on the surface of it. I'm not explaining it well. And there was an actual like methane ocean. The worm gods, like the hive worm gods, the gods above Oryx and Xivu Arath and her, like they were actually caged in the center of the planet.
It was a great book. That's all I remember. Diving through it and breaking free as Krill. Yeah, it was so cool. Such a great story.
So the Books of Sorrow were a hive Bible written by Oryx.
Oh, wow.
So it's painted with bias.
Sure. It's probably, it's probably being very positive to the...
There's still probably a lot of fact in there, especially for like the early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it is being told from one character's point of view.
Right. Still a glorious book.
Oh, yeah.
No, all right. Not Arf threw us. He threw you a curveball of lore fast fire questions here. So I'll pick two, and then Hazel, you can pick the other two. I'm going to start with this one. Do you think the Drifter is essentially a good man?
I do.
Okay.
I have a pet theory that he's actually doing this for love.
Love? Love of what?
The emissary used to be a guardian named Orin, and Drifter and Orin used to be in the Pilgrim Guard together.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
He considered her his best friend, and then she just disappeared.
It's like this guy knows lore or something, Hazel.
You should do a podcast.
You should, man. You know a lot of good stuff. Okay, next one from Not Arf. What do you think will happen now it's been confirmed that the skeleton of Oryx's worm is moving or alive?
I need to find where he got this information.
Oh,
No shit, right?
Curveball, yeah.
Yeah, like this, I don't actually know.
I first I've heard of it. We'll have to ask him. I'll save that question. Okay. We'll ask him. We'll ask him where he got that from, and we'll DM it to you.
Or if he's like making it up.
No, he's in your community, so I'm sure. Yeah, he'll say something once he hears this.
Oh yeah,
He's
I'm
right
definitely gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. We'll go with this one from Not Arf. Do you think the Faustian bargain was more like an Ahamkara wish?
I have no idea what he just said.
I hadn't thought of it like that before.
Faustian bargain.
It would actually kind of make sense because there is a theory out there in the lore community where the Hive and the Ahamkara are kind of a split evolution. Kind of like how humans and apes are distant cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would make sense.
It would.
Now, my question is, the Faustian bargain being like an Ahamkara wish from who? That's the key. Because it gave Oryx, Savathun, and Xivu Arath more power, but there was a huge cost to it.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, well, then, like, Xivu Arath, wasn't she the goddess of war?
Yep, the Hive God of War.
Yeah.
Savathun
is that
Savathun is the Hive God of cunning, and Oryx is the Hive God of navigating.
How come we get to fight the weakest one and the other two are like, I don't know. Oryx just sounds like the weakest one, but navigating.
Well, he used to be a she.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and he navigated death.
Yeah, he has his own descendant realm.
They all do.
Well, that's right, they do. You're right.
Now, like, I am
super
super excited to dive into Xivu Arath just because, she is the god of war. By fighting, we are giving her strength. And if we don't fight, she's going to win anyway. I am excited for this.
Never thought of it that way.
I'm excited too now, but here's the thing is why the hell isn't this in the game? Like, I mean, this should be like right there.
Bungie, get on it.
They're starting to bring it into the game.
They mention her.
They have been for a while,
more.
actually.
Yeah, they mention her name a lot more now.
Yeah, but heck, never put the game down if they knew that.
Yeah. Heck, the hunts from last season, those were all her.
Right. Yeah, I get it. And this is my biggest issue with Bungie and the lore is this would be so amazing to put into the game. So put it into the damn game. Make it obvious so people know hey, Xivu Arath is this, and I don't want to have to buy a $20 book so I find out about this shit.
You only paid $20?
I don't know how much the shit is.
It was more than $20 for me. I buy it when it immediately comes out.
I just want
I pay full retail.
All,
Yeah.
Yeah, with a discount code. So who do you think will be affected more by the Ahamkara skull above Shax's hangout, I guess? Zavala or Shax?
I say Zavala.
Okay.
And that is based off of the Traveler's Chosen lore tab, which talks about somebody overlooking a ledge and Savathun reaching out and just tasting sweet rot.
Yeah. I remember that tab.
All right. Well, I think that's the lore questions. If I'm correct here. Do you see a couple in there you wanna answer, Ellimist?
Or ask?
Yeah.
I'm good with answering the question from Sneaky Snake. What is your favorite clan banner staff?
Ooh.
Okay. Well, we typically start with the guest, so...
So, for me personally, it is the Black Armory staff. I have a lot of love for the Black Armory itself. The Black Armory Papers is my favorite lore book.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, why not dive into it? Just go full out.
This is going to sound awful. I've been trying to figure out how to change my clan banner staff. Can anybody direct me to the place where I can change it? I tried to do it on the clan page, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Every time. I change it every...
So, yeah, so it's on your character's basic...
Oh, so it's individual setting.
Menu.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you inspect your clan banner.
Okay.
The actual one that shows you like what perks
you
get for clan being unlocked at certain ranks.
Gotcha. I don't have Destiny
and
pulled up.
And that's how you change it.
I don't have Destiny pulled up, but it was last season's that I have on there now. It's very ornate. I really like it. I don't have I'm not playing Destiny. I'm podcasting.
You see what I have to put up with?
No, I don't. I can't access it. It's not on Dim either.
Can't access it.
I can't. I've so it's individual. Individuals can pick their own clan banner. I didn't know that. I thought the clan leader had to pick it for everyone. And I was in the page. I was like, I'm looking at settings. I'm like, where's the clan banners? Different staffs. All right. Well, that answered that question. That's two birds with one stone there.
Yeah, we have teaching moments with Gator.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I would have to go with the Warmind one. I think that was pretty cool.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, that's that was from my old clan. Rip, love those guys.
Yeah.
Who mostly moved over to our clan now, but but still, those were pretty cool. I wish we could have kept those.
Yeah, because we set our clan up later, we've lost a lot of them.
Yep.
Because we said our clan was set up when we set up the podcast. So, let me see. Boy, we got so many great questions here.
Okay.
You want to pick one, Hazel?
I'm scared to pick this one, but I don't want to.
You talking about the very top one?
No, I'm talking about the one from Mombot.
Oh.
I'll do it. Hopefully it doesn't cause a rebirth.
Oh, Lord.
So, question from Mombot. How do you deal with bad service?
I've been very fortunate that I haven't really had bad service.
That's good.
If you get the waiter or waitress to laugh once or twice, they'll start associating good shit with your table.
Mm-hmm. And they don't spit in your food either. That helps.
Yeah, that really helps.
That's a bonus.
Huh.
Well, if we're talking home service, because there's so many choices out there and because I offer a home service, my business, I just don't ever deal with that company again. And there's been a lot of companies like that. As far as restaurant service, I always tip very well because my daughter used to work tables, and that didn't sound right. My daughter used to she used to wait tables, and I always wanted to. Don't you dare! I always think of my daughter when I see a young girl walk up that's waiting our table and is serving us. I always think, well, that could be my daughter. So I want to make sure, as long as she, does the basics, make sure our drinks are good, checks up on us, and not go on a smoke break and leave us for half an hour wondering where our food is. Yeah. I mean, with home service or a home service, I just don't use them anymore, but I'm usually very friendly because I empathize with people who work in that industry. And I know it's not the most fun job to have in the world. So I try to at least make it enjoyable for all parties involved. So nice. I've seen some really demanding customers, just crazy. So yeah. What about you, Hazel?
Well, I grew up where basically like you start at 20% tip.
Right.
Like you walk in the door, it's 20% no matter what.
Right.
And then depending on the service, it goes up from there or down from there.
Yep.
So like, I've seen my dad tip like $30 on like a $5 meal. He's just like, he's like, you did great. Thank you so much. Here you go.
Wow.
And the look on these people's faces is just like unreal. Like, like, are you going senile? And it's like, no, I just appreciate your service. So, that's how I've grown up. So, I've gone extra and paid over like the bill to give like a tip to somebody. And one of what I do for bad service though, the worst service I ever received was at a Cracker Barrel when I was in college. And the woman, like, she threw a glass at me. It was dirty. And I'm like, okay, well, I pushed it to the side and I flagged her down a little bit later. I was like, hey, like this glass is dirty. Can I get another one? And then she's like, yeah, I'll get it for you. And then like the next 25 minutes went by. I didn't get another water glass. I got my food. It was cold. And she just wanted nothing to do with me because here I was sitting there. I was doing my schoolwork and stuff like that. And she was just like, she's like, yeah. She's like, this is the way it is. I'm sorry. And I gave her a penny tip. That was it. I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah, here you go. And she didn't like it either. And I was just like, well, congratulations. I didn't like the service. So there you go.
Yeah. I think we've all had to deal with that once or twice.
I'm sure Mom Bot will appreciate that answer. I didn't ask for a manager though.
You didn't hold a gun? Jeez. Did you see the memes you put out?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Jeez.
No, I don't get Karen on them. I'm okay.
Gotcha. Ellimist, you have one in there you want to ask?
Yeah. This is from Golden God.
Okay.
What is your favorite raid in Destiny? Also, what is your favorite drop and armor from the raids? Mine was Crota. I know more like a strike, but it was fun. My favorite armor was the Wrath and Crota with the ornaments attached to it on Warlock. So, I really love the Deepstone Crypt armor. Like, I like the Vault armor, but Deepstone looks so good on Titan. I have Flavetto core on the armor, so I look like Bumblebee from Transformers.
I know that shader. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it actually is my favorite raid. It's only been around for less than 6 months, and I have run it almost 80 times.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm
glad you
it's just
tomorrow.
Oh, I got it on my second run.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Like, I feel bad for the people who haven't gotten it yet because I know how that can feel sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I go into a new season or a new expansion thinking, all right, it's going to be a raid drop exotic. I'm going to have to at least run it, 6 weeks before I even get to that point of getting the exotic.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it actually drops for me fairly early. So then I'm just grinding out other weapons and rolls.
Nice.
But then there's other clanmates who just got it this week. And they've been doing it 3 times a week on every character, and yeah.
Shit. Wait, did you finish it day 1?
No, we got up to Taniks, but that's where we were having all of our issues.
Mm.
And at that point, we'd all been up for 21 hours straight.
Yeah.
22 hours straight, something like that. So, no, we didn't.
I wasn't sure. I wanted to go back to that. I was like, hey, I wonder, did he ever finish that? Because you said it was 23 hours before 22 hours, and I'm just like, I wonder. So,
we literally logged out, caught a couple hours sleep, logged back in once contest was over, and just finished it as quick as we could.
Mm.
We actually got it done, but it was in the first 48 hours, not 24.
That's still impressive.
Yeah, it is.
We did not finish the first day.
Yeah.
It was enough for a raid jacket.
Nice. What about you, Hazel? I'm curious.
I don't want to copy his answer, but I mean, Crota with the ornaments was fantastic. King's Fall with the ornaments, with the Warlock. I'll give the Warlock some love there. I mean, those were just fantastic.
Mm.
D1.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have to go to D1 as well. My favorite raid is King's Fall. I ran it so many times, and it was just the individual boss fights seemed so much more meaningful in that raid. And my God, the guns were gorgeous. Whether it was the stripped down version or the heroic version that you got, the higher difficulty, which I love that too. They were they looked so good. But I'd have to say my favorite drop of all time in a raid. God, I got to go back to it, man. It's my Vision of Confluence. That was my Swiss Army knife for anything in Destiny 1. It just was so stable, hit hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in case you guys, the Taken Tots don't know, that was from the very first raid, which is coming back next season.
I am so excited for that.
The Vault of Glass. Oh, if they better have the Confluence. It better be dropping, or I'm going to be having some words. I'm going to go to Luke Smith's house. I don't care if I have a restraining order. I'm going to march in that door and say, what the hell, man?
He doesn't care anymore. He got sunset. Didn't you hear that?
Oh, no, he's still there. He just talks. He just makes decisions on all of it now. Just
you hear that?
Just indirectly.
I made Ellimist sigh. It's not just a gator thing anymore.
Oh, God. We're going to make a t-shirt. That sign.
Because it's not proper usage of sunsetting. I mean, the whole idea of sunsetting was
thank you
leaving it behind.
Right.
Luke Smith was not fired. He was promoted. He's not being left behind.
So for anybody who doesn't know, I just have to share this. So that was actually from the Guardians of Lore, their podcast. Orchid was saying that Luke Smith got sunset, and I absolutely just cracked up laughing at that line because I'm like, I like that. But no, he didn't get sunset, he
got promoted. He's ahead of it all now.
Yeah, he got promoted, so he's not really involved in the day-to-day stuff with Destiny.
But I bet you if he says something, people answer. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Except for Orchid.
And what gets me is everybody makes all the decisions out to be, Luke Smith's fault, but it's a team effort.
Right.
I don't know.
It's the team that actually agrees to it and makes the changes.
I don't know.
I mean, it might be his vision, but people would have to still agree with it.
Really?
I just...
I'm going to say I believe that. I want to believe that. I really do. Because Bungie's not the big machine, you know. They're an independent studio, right?
But if you believe that, though, to me, that means that all of Bungie thought that stasis was okay in its current form.
Someone has to set the narrative, and then people just run with it. But
I
mean, it's been said that the people who work on Bungie love the game. They play the game.
Yeah.
So that being said, yeah, they all have a vested interest in what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. And a vested interest in keeping their job.
Well, yeah, right. But okay. Yeah, we can go down a rabbit hole there. You know, let's knock out a couple of the older questions, Hazel, if we might.
Yeah.
These were asked long ago. I'm not even going to say the date because I'll be embarrassed. But I think I'm going to ask this question one more time, and then I'm going to retire the question, Hazel. It's from a Cora's assassin. What do you think?
I like it.
I think
I don't want to retire this question.
All right, fine. But I'm going to ask it because I'm curious what Ellimist has to say here. Question for the show. Let's say Bungie decides to give you a small but highly talented team to work on future content. Would you improve Crucible and PvP, generate more interesting strikes, etc., or dedicate more attention to overall progression? You can only choose one path. Thanks, love the show. Well, what we do is we've altered that question is to whatever you think would improve Destiny.
Okay. See, there's a lot of PvE content. I think if Bungie actually released a season that did just quality of life updates or updates to the Crucible, personally, I would be all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Crucible has been neglected, and with Stasis running rampant in its current state, like, to me, it's not fun. If they just took the time and did a full-on Crucible season.
Wow, that is not the answer I was expecting. You know what, though?
Well, because,
yeah.
Well, because, Destiny is more than just the PvE stuff.
Yeah, and why do you play PvE? So you can grab the gun and go see how it works in Crucible, right? Nobody shares.
Some do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nobody shares. I guess not as many people as I thought share that sentiment. Okay.
Yeah, he says that whenever he asks that question and somebody says
no, remotely, not really.
He's like, yeah, you get to gun in PvE and you go like, I kill people with it.
I'm sorry. Finish your thought. Sorry, we break off on tangents a lot, by the way.
Oh, it's all good. But no, PvE consistently gets content and updates and stuff. Yeah, it might feel stale, but that's because we run it ad nauseum.
Right. And what's the ultimate game content is when you're playing another human, right? It's never the same.
Gators.
I'm trying to sell this, but it's not going across like I think I should. Well, you know what's funny? Since Destiny, the next major expansion of Destiny's been delayed a whole season, wouldn't that be perfect? Late fall, throw that little extra season in there?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
I would love to see this.
Good.
Because it's
just yelling at everybody.
Well,
doing kill him faster.
I mean, you just
no. See, what I really want is for there to be strikes that are actually narrated by Shax.
Oh wow, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
Could you just imagine him shouting in the middle of a strike, "Throw more grenades!"
That's great.
That would be brilliant. Why are you standing behind that Guardian? Get out of there and kill them. And it's like Grandmaster. You're like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Fight forever, Guardian. I know. Well, they haven't really stated how they're going to stretch out this year. And God, I hope we don't have a drought. Please, God, don't let us have a Destiny drought again. After Rise of Iron, I don't know if I can handle another long drought like that. They have to have something planned. Rise of Iron.
Season of Arrivals, you mean?
No, Rise of Iron, Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. You know how long that we didn't have anything. Nothing was said for months and months until Destiny 2 came out.
Man,
you don't remember those days?
You had Age of Triumph right in the middle of that.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. There was tons of stuff. I was still doing raids. I
guess I was playing a little too much back then. Probably. Okay.
I was playing probably just as much or more.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Season of Arrivals, but like that season was perfect for me personally.
Yeah.
I was able to go through and actually finish like 8 different seals in that season.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
You're dedicated, man. I can't do them all.
Ranging from Reckoner to Conqueror to Blacksmith.
Reckoner?
Black Shadow. Like,
Jesus, man.
I could list out the actual seals that I got, and you'd be like, are you sure you don't hate yourself?
I was just going to say, go take a nap right now, man. Jeez. Wow.
Damn.
Well, why don't, what do you think? A couple more questions?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
We'll go with this one. Question from Jealous. Would you rather look like Jar Jar Binks or talk like Jar Jar Binks?
That's a quandary. Jeez.
I already kind of look like him, so yeah, I think I would go with looks instead of talking because I already have issues talking.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I talk like Jar Jar Binks, I probably wouldn't be podcasting anymore, so I'll take the looks too, since I have to choose between the two.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go with looks too, because if I sounded like that, I'd probably want to just punch myself in the face.
And people would want to punch you as soon as they saw you too, yeah. Oh, God.
You ruined Star Wars.
Now,
so many sound bites this season.
Now, my question, add on to that is, if we actually look like him, do we still also get his Sith abilities?
Sith abilities? What?
Oh, you haven't heard that theory? There's a theory that Jar Jar Binks was really a Sith Lord.
Oh my God.
How many?
Because who could really cause that much destruction by themselves?
That's true.
If they didn't have some kind of ability.
I mean, he gave power to basically the Emperor. I mean, he was coaxed into creating that vote. Oh man, so many mistakes.
Well, I mean, according to what was it, episode whatever.
We don't say that episode.
The one that nobody liked.
Yeah, episode 1.
Myself, I loved it. Apparently, everybody has Jedi powers in the Force. You can use it, even like stable boys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would explain that.
It's more prevalent than you think. Yeah.
Oh God.
Do you have one more there, Ellimist? You see you want to ask?
This one was from Sneaky Snake.
Okay.
How much time actually goes into making one episode? I'm curious on how long it takes you to record, edit, and how you publish it to the different podcast thingies.
Ooh.
That's a great question. How did I miss that question? Man, that's a good question. Okay, if we're talking planning, scripts, don't answer, Hazel. Don't answer because I know what stuff you spend. No. Hazel does a lot of research too. I give him a bunch of shit for it, but he surprises me every week. I have to usually. Let's think about it here. Tuesday, I usually start the DM. After Monday, the show's released, I start a DM for the next guest, and we start talking with them. We pick our song picks, and I put scripts together. I have to come up with a speed run list. Let's see, I have to decide what we're going to talk about that week, because the TWAB is light especially. And Then editing is 3 hours usually. I've gotten really good at it. It used to be much longer. I've definitely honed my skills in editing, audio editing. Let's make that clear. Yeah, I would say total a week for me personally. And then of course the show, recording the show.
Yeah.
Damn. I would say probably 15 to 20 hours a week. If you're talking about every aspect of putting a show together every week. Yeah, that's fair. I'm curious what your answer is, Ellimist.
Yeah.
So it depends on how prepared I am already. Because I will just sit down on Saturdays or whatever and get show notes just completely pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
And that would take me all of 3 hours or 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, since we do a lore podcast, I can easily just do up show notes for different lore books and then just have them sitting in a Google Drive folder waiting for use.
Right.
Nice.
That's good use of time.
Now, for the actual recording, Orchid and I try and keep that to 2 hours. Because there's going to be stuff that I cut out, stuff that just doesn't make it into the episode. And the actual editing itself, I try and do it in 2 different sittings. One to actually go through the episode itself, and then one to do all the finalized stuff. You know, intro, outro, toss ads in there.
Oh, yeah.
Finalize bloopers and get those pushed into there.
Yep. It's a labor of love.
The extra little bits take maybe an hour.
Okay.
And that's just because lining stuff up perfectly, making sure that everything's just right. And that also does include the actual upload itself. The actual editing for the episode itself. Usually I try and plan at least double the time
Of the show.
Yep. I listen to it at about anywhere from 1.25 to 1.3 times speed. That way you get through it quicker, but there are also things that you tend to miss because of that.
Yeah, I've missed stuff all the time. He
gets called out about it too. He's like, "No, I'll edit that out," and then
no, it's left. So sometimes if I say, "Oh, don't worry, I'll edit that out," it may not get edited out. If I catch it, great. If not, then because when you're listening to it, you're kind of doing other things too. You're kind of working on all kinds of things at once. So, Hazel, what's your answer, man?
Well, on the day of the show, I wake up, and
here we go.
And you grab your coffee.
Yeah,
then you go for your second coffee.
Yeah, and then I go to work. And then I get off of work. And then around 6, 7 o'clock at night, my wife goes, "Hey, what's in the TWAB?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit, I forgot." And then I pull up the TWAB. I go over it real quick and go like, okay, it's nothing good. And then I pretty much, I go to the bathroom. And then around like 15 minutes beforehand. Yeah, exactly. And then about 15 minutes before we start the show, I just dive in. I start doing a bunch of research and make it sound like I do a lot of stuff.
He's being humble. He's being humble. He does more than that sometimes.
Oh,
He does.
Sometimes
He does.
I figured you were going to say he's being humble. It's more like 20 minutes before the show.
Great question.
There's that too.
Great question. How did we miss that one? That was a good one.
I have no idea. I'm glad we hit it though with this one.
Yeah. Good question.
So, yeah. No, I do put a lot more effort into the show.
He does. And a lot of times he'll get on and actually play the game, because sometimes we'll get questions where we want to actually find out. Like, I couldn't access my clan banners because I wasn't playing the game. And that's the one thing I do like. Hazel's in the game. He can pull it up real quick and answer it. So that's always nice.
I'm not in there now, though.
No, I know. But, you're shooting the mans, too. That helps. Sen's really good at it, by the way.
Yeah. He's got that S tier play and podcast level going on.
Yeah, he does.
So, yeah.
Love you guys at the Guardian Hub.
Yep.
All right. Hazel, take us out. We'll call it a night.
Okay. I want to get an Uncle Scumdeath question.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them.
God, man. I'm going to go with this one. Uncle Scumdeath, question for the show. Are feet the ugliest thing on the body? I say yes. They should never be on show. If I made the laws, I would make sandals and flip-flops illegal. Love the show.
Oh, this could get me in trouble. Ellimist, what's your answer?
Okay, the sandals are illegal, but what if I wear socks with them?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God. that goes with the dad bod and dad jokes.
Exactly.
Gator's like,
absolutely no fashion sense.
That's a dad joke? I wear sandals and socks. No, I do not. I do not. For the record, I do not do that.
I don't have a thing for feet either way, hate or love. So,
okay.
God, I'm so gonna get in trouble here. Go ahead, Hazel. Oh shit, you asked the question. Damn it.
Wait. Mrs. Gator, if you can, please pay attention.
Oh Lord, she already knows. Men's feet, cover those damn things up. But women, most women, let me preface that, have beautiful feet. And that's the first thing I look at when I'm looking at a woman is her feet. It is. I have a thing about feet. I don't know why. I've always had that. I might edit this out. My wife has very beautiful feet, and it's definitely one feature I love about her. So let's leave it at that. Hazel, what's your answer? Mrs. Hazelnut, if you're listening. Shit.
I'm fucking dying.
God damn it. The stuff I reveal on this damn show. Son of a bitch.
Feet. They're a thing. So, I don't know.
Bullshit. You're not getting off that easy.
I can't focus after that answer, man.
Son of a bitch.
Feet. I don't know. They're a thing. I mean, I'm not like that big into feet. Not as much as Gator, apparently.
Shit.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pro feet. How about that? So,
okay.
As long as the person has feet, congratulations. If not, I'm sorry. And
well, yeah, we never thought of that.
Now, the one thing I am going to say is, like, if a woman happens to be wearing high heels or something, I'm going to notice.
Yes.
I'm going to appreciate it.
Yeah. I like legs. See, I'm not like solely a foot connoisseur.
It's like that lower half.
I like all of it. Hey, Uncle Scumdeath, thanks for that question, buddy. Buddy, old pal. All right. Hey, we're moving on. Hey, gang, thank you for those questions, especially the lore questions. If you're gonna have to explain your question in the Lore Hub Discord tomorrow, by the way, buddy. Or I'm sorry, on Monday morning. But thank you, everyone. You guys blow us away with these questions. And we could see we've already spent 40-something minutes answering questions. We'd love to answer more. But I will say this. Next week, we have Mr. Elmer Fudd Games and Mr. RNG Gator. It's going to be a great show. And we are going to answer a ton of community questions. So throw them at us. It's going to be the community questions show. So bring it. All right. God help us. Crossing my right now. I'm crossing. Thank you, everyone. All right. Speaking of Elmer Fudd, he has something to say here. We'll be right back.
Guardian Downcast. Guardian Downcast. Yeah. Guardian Downcast. This is an intro. Guardian Downcast. Guardian. Not copyright. Guardian Downcast.
Thank you, Mr. Fudd. We'll see you next week, buddy. This is our final part of our show. This is where we pick our songs from our award-winning Guardian Town Cast show playlist. This is just a little sample of what the two of us and Ellimist here like to listen to. And we invite you, yes, you, to listen to it as well. Just search for Guardian Town Cast show playlist on Spotify. And we're also on iTunes. Like I say, I put special hyperlinks in our channel, not our channel script, but our podcast description, if you ever want to know where to follow that. We now have 597 songs, 42 hours and 40 minutes of music, representing all of us and our past guests for almost 2 years now. So, and I also post videos of our picks every week in our music and TV channel in our Discord. So check that out if you want to know more about these groups. Mr. Ellimist, let's start with you, sir. What'd you pick this week?
So I picked These Days from Foo Fighters.
Great song.
And I also picked Heat of the Moment from Asia.
Me and Uncle Scumdeath, thank you.
So I picked These Days because that actually helped me get through some troubling times.
Okay.
It just, and not like listening to it for hours on end or anything, but it was just whenever I would start feeling down, I'd play that song and it would lift my spirits.
It's a great pick-me-up song. Great melody. Yeah. Great song.
Awesome.
And why Asia? I'm curious.
So this one's actually going to be a little long. I picked Heat of the Moment because it is from one of my favorite episodes of Supernatural.
Oh.
That show has been a constant thing in damn near half my life.
Yeah.
I mean, they just finished their 15th season.
Wow.
But Heat of the Moment was used as a plot device in order to actually know that. All right. The episode was essentially Groundhog's Day. So one main character was stuck in a time loop, and every day his morning would start with Heat of the Moment.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
And he lived through 100 Tuesdays. So he woke up 100 times listening to Heat of the Moment.
Oh my gosh. That is great.
That's funny.
It's from the season 3 episode Mystery Spot. And it's just, I can't listen to that song without laughing because of that episode.
We're going to have people in our Discord probably mention it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I make everybody cringe when I talk about Supernatural because I stopped watching at the end of the first season when they got hit by the truck. And I was like, that sucks, they died. People are like, what? Like, they got 14 other seasons. I'm like, not to me.
Oh, my God. Oh,
yeah.
That's bad.
The first 5 seasons are amazing. After that, it's a bit spotty. I did enjoy the last 2 or 3 seasons, though.
Very cool, man. I like it. I love your taste in music, by the way. We share very.
It's just rock.
I love it.
Anything rock.
Yes. Hazel, what'd you pick this week, man? I'm curious.
All right. So my first pick is Break My Baby, Stripped Back by Callio. So this is an acoustic version of the song, and it just, I don't know why, it just kind of struck me today. I was just, I was just listening to some music, and I'm like, okay, I have my songs picked already, but this one kind of took over that one. Or took over one of mine. So yeah, just nice, who doesn't like acoustic?
Mm.
And then that's actually led me to a different song. And it was sort of like a meme kind of song. And I was just doing some research into this, and to my surprise, that Matt Damon is actually not in this band. And that kind of broke my heart. So anybody who knows what I'm talking about already, congratulations. I picked the song by Lustra, Scotty Doesn't Know, from the movie Euro Trip. This is one of my favorite comedies ever. Ellimist and myself, we were going back and forth with some quotes like, "Mi scusi." So
I saw Euro Trip. It's been a while.
I was watching it again tonight after picking the song and then going back and forth with Ellimist. I'm like, I have to watch some of this.
Oh man.
Oh, absolutely. After going back and forth with you, if I don't have it, I'm going to go find it.
If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there for free.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Now I gotta go get it.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's so many. I mean, it's definitely not. It does not hold up well in light of current events, but it's still really, really funny.
Nice picks, man. You always get inspired by your music. I have a list. It's okay, what are we picking off the list this week?
I have a list too.
That's why I throw them in there so fast. I have a list too, but I never go off of that list. That list is if it's 9:25 or something like that, I need to pick a song. I'm I still don't have one. I'm I'll just go to the list. Right. See, I go to the list first thing. I'm all these songs I've pre-approved. I love all these songs. And yeah, I try to mix it up, but progressive rock is my roots now. I love prog rock. Speaking of which, my first pick tonight, they're a Danish band. They formed in 2006. They're from a little seaport city. Well, maybe not little. Seaport city on the west coast of Denmark named Esbjerg. Hope I said that right. The name of the band comes from a German translation from a Dostoevsky novel, Notes from the Underground. I thought that was interesting. They've released 6 albums to date. My Song is their latest from 2020. It's an actual single called Nothing, and the group is Kellermensch. I love this band, and you listen to this song, you'll be singing it all day to yourself tomorrow. So, great. This band, my second pick, this band was formed in London, England in 1975. The 2 main band members met in 1974 in a canteen at Abbey Road Studios, and the rest is history. They've released 11 studio albums to date over their 15-year career. This is one of those bands who used myriads of session musicians. Toto was one I'm thinking of back in the day, that really made their songs sound really big and iconic. The main band members, whose name is defined in this band name, was an assistant sound engineer making the Beatles albums at Abbey Road way back then. Their music has been hard to define, and their ranges from soft rock to art rock, and then, of course, my favorite, progressive rock. My song choice tonight is off their very first album from 1976, Tales of Mystery and Imagination, and the song is The Raven. It's the iconic rock band, the Alan Parsons Project. And for you youngins out there that don't know what I'm talking about, they have a song called Sirius, Eye in the Sky. It's the long-running opening music for the Chicago Bulls NBA team. So, there you go. As requested, Mrs. Gator has chosen a song for this week. She says this is Will Butler's new solo album, which, if you don't know, is the lead vocalist for Arcade Fire. And their entire release is so good that it's hard to choose a song, but I'll choose Hard Times from his album Generations. I just listened to this album today. It is really good. You got to check that album out. It's really good. Zan, excuse me. Zan also picked the song this week. He said, this song came from my Discover Weekly, and it's very jazzy. So I chose the song Rain Dog from Jizu, which, by the way, Dez probably knows this. Jizu is Japanese instrumental jazz fusion. Thought that was pretty cool. And it's off their 26th album, Bookshelf. Zan, I love this stuff, man. Keep giving us this kind of stuff. I love it. Hey, guys. Thank you so much, Ellimist, for coming on tonight. That's a wrap. Another episode in our collection. For our listeners out there, we have 86 other episodes from interviews from gamers all over our community. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us now. And, we really don't do much promotion for this podcast. So hit that share button on whatever podcast app of choice you use. You guys spreading the word is how we grow. And it's our way of getting to more ears out there. And leave us a review also if you like. We'd appreciate that very much. Anything we can do to make your week a little less stressful with our lighter take on Destiny is what it's all about. So that's why we do this. Ellimist, again, thank you very much, sir, for coming on tonight. You've been a great guest, man, I got to say.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Well, we did talk about your podcast and stuff at the beginning, but do you want to repeat some of your contact information? Talk about your podcast?
Yeah, sure. So that is Guardians of Lore. Essentially, we are a Destiny book club. We read the entries and talk about them. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. You can find us on Twitter at Guardians_lore. You can email us, guardians_lore@outlook.com. And we have a Discord with Focus Fire Chat, which we've discussed earlier in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called Lore Hub. You should be able to find the link to that on our Twitter page or in any of the episode descriptions.
I'll put it in the show notes as well. I'll get a link from you.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us pretend to be a lore podcast for 30 minutes.
Oh, there was no pretending.
Oh, that was awesome, man. Thanks.
You're gonna cry?
I am too. Hazel, sir, how can everyone find you?
Quick and easy. Hazel NT, anywhere and everywhere.
You can contact me on the Twitter at Todd the Gator. Remember, that's Gatr. You can also find me on Steam and PS4 as Gator, all caps, Gatr, underscores in between. I'm also on YouTube as Gator-Guardian Downcast, where we also post our episodes, by the way, every week. You can find us on whatever podcast catcher you use out there, and you can also listen it directly from our website, guardiandowncast.com. You can email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, and we're on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast. Like I said, guardiandowncast.com. If you want to get all of our contact information, it's all in one place right there. And we also have an Instagram. Just search for Guardian_Down_cast. And Ellimist, I don't know if you don't mind. Do you mind putting a picture, meme, whatever you want, either about your podcast or you personally or whatever in our show note DM, and we'll post it on our Instagram?
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you for that. We try to put a face or a meme or something with our guest every week. Just something for people to check out. So thank you for that, man.
Absolutely.
Well, we can't go without a Scum Death Corner. And man, I got to tell you, this is classic Scum Death. What's up this week, Uncle Scum Death?
Hello, and welcome to Scum Death's Corner. Last night, I went to bed, and the missus was dead asleep, and I climbed into bed, and I put YouTube on my phone. So I laid there watching a bit of YouTube, and the door banged on the wall like 5 times, 5 big bangs. And I was like, what's that? And so it woke up the missus, and she's like, what the hell was that noise? I'm like, I don't know. It sounded like it's coming from the daughter's bedroom. Next minute, we had a text. "You disgusting bastards! Stop doing it! I'm trying to sleep in my bedroom." I'm like, "What?" So I text her back. I said, "What the hell are you going on about? We're not doing it. The missus is asleep. I'm watching YouTube." She's like, "Well, I can hear moaning and I can hear banging." I'm like, "Well, it's not us." I'm like, "What the hell are you going on about?" Completely confused. And then she looked out of her window. I'd locked one of the bloody dogs out of the back garden. So when I come home from work today, and I seen her, I said, "Oh, thank you very much. So me and your mother doing it sounds like a dog locked out in the back garden." I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. But there you go. That was quite hilarious last night at 11 o'clock. Anyway, love the show, guys, and love you all. Bye. Jesus Christ.
That is classic Uncle Scumdeath. Now,
Wow.
raise your hand if you've left your dog out at night and it was banging on the door for hours. My hand's raised. That's hilarious.
Mine is
Air
too.
quotes there? Are you using air quotes with that?
No, I literally have left my dog out before, and her nails would click on the slider, and I go, "What is that noise?" And then I go out there, and poor dog's been on the porch for hours, just wanting to get inside. So, this never happened to you guys?
Oh, it's happened to me before.
Very nice. Very
Are
nice.
you using air quotes when you say that, Ellimist? Or I'm just
No, not at all.
Oh, that's great. Great Scumdeath Corner. Thank you for that, Uncle Scumdeath. Hey, everyone. Continue to be safe out there. More importantly, take care of one another.
Guardians are measured by their ability to come back from defeat. So stand. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Toddles.
Take care.
Thanks, man. That was a lot of fun. Man.
It was.
Wow. Great deal. That's a great show.
Bungie has actually released Grimoire anthologies
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I've been reading those.
that are like, those are actually like full stories that are bundled together.
Right.
I have them. I haven't cracked them open, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've read them all three.
The very first one is Books of Sorrows and the Dwindler Ridge Saga.
The best one so far, I think.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, I love the Books of Sorrow. It's got to be my favorite book so far, but I haven't really dove into lore fully yet, so...
God, man.
It's
Well, and
Excited whenever I talk to anybody who's like into lore, and it's like I don't know. I just got like this feeling in my chest, like.
And then Monday comes and you're like, well, off to work.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling. Yeah.
Thank God there's podcasts like
Yes.
I can't think of any at the moment, but you know.
Can't think of any at the oh right. All right, smart ass. All right.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Well, my sister has some of the biggest balls I've seen on
There's the jokes.